Hello, good evening and welcome. I'm a little bit confused because this channel is so delayed that it's unbelievable tonight. I'm already talking and I haven't seen the stream even start. Oh, there we go. Talk about bad delays. Sorry about that. Right, first thing is first, I am going to drop in the chat a link to Global Mom's channel because our friend Tusk, there's the link, our friend Tusk is having a live premiere of proof that NASA lied about the moon. Tusk. So it's just bad planning, lack of planning, not knowing what each of us doing. Don't know, and I don't suppose it matters. But that's Tusk. So do feel free to go over and check that. I said I'd give a shout out. We didn't realise that we were on at the same time. So let's go quickly back through. We've got Bill Devitt, member. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to you, Bill. If it is afternoon for you, it's mid-evening. Getting on a bit now here. Who else we got? Cy Allen. Hello. Carl Edwards. Welcome. And Christopher Bell. Microraptor. Hello to you. And Aniceto Maldonado. Hello, everyone. And hello to you. Thomas Davenport. I just made your night. That's just what Mrs. Sensible never ever says. Never. So thanks for that. Thanks for that. Just another David. Got the notification. What can I say? Went straight in. Nice one. Welcome to you. Yeah, Microraptor. Hello, hello. Doug Bwittenboss. I don't know how to say that. Mark. Good evening to you. Telescope Replicator. Bad delay. Am I on the moon? Could be. Could be. Or am I just in the Matrix? Who knows? A couple more. We've got Raz and Mark Tin. Good evening to both of you. I'm going to drop that link again for Tusk. Tusk is a good guy, and he's got a live stream. There's the link. Sorry, a live premiere on Global Mom's channel, which is a channel worth checking out. So anyone who wants to hop over there, please feel free. I won't feel offended in any way, but just make sure you come back again afterwards, okay? Hello, Mikai H. Hi. It's all right, Doug. Doug B. I think I'll call you Doug B. A cheese mondo. So anyway, I hope you're all having a good week. I've had a bit of a bad week with regard to shifts again. They keep giving me the worst shifts, so I can't really do much before, can't really do much after, sort of getting home sort of just before 8 in the evening, time for something to eat, and then at that point it's really hard to have the get up and go to do a video and so on. I have got one lined up, but I need to do my bits of filming for it, and I've just not been able to face it the past couple of days, and I thought, live stream. Rachie and lots of zeros. Just wondering how long until it's Mage 2. Right, yes, well, I was going to do a little bit of an update on Mage, so let's have the logo. Right, Mage 2. It is developing. Because we've got the new camera that's being tested, and I also was in discussions with Q, and we have a pressure sensor, but more than that, we've got temperature sensor as well. So we will be measuring the pressure, we will be seeing and measuring the temperature. We'll be seeing the balloon expand due to the low pressure. So we're gonna prove a lot about the gradient that there apparently might be up there, so that's going to be good. I am planning to do a video at some point soon, just with all the updates. Now, we missed the last set of launch, or the last launch window, because the weather was terrible, and it looks, I had a message from Q tonight, it looks as though the next launch window, which is from this Thursday through Sunday, is also likely to be bad. The good news is, after my next set of shifts, I have 2 weeks off, from 13th to 26th of September. I reckon we should be able to get one day somewhere out of that. So I'm really, really hopeful that if we're not lucky enough to get the 3rd to the 6th, that we're going to get it the 13th to the 26th. Because I am itching to do this. It's not forgotten about. It's almost ready to go. So we're reliant on the weather. So that's your Mage news. Da-da-dun, da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. Let's take it back off again. But I will be doing a video about that soon to sort of formalise the announcements, and I'll keep you all up to date on that. Oh, what's that? Someone asking about Mage 2. Yes, you're right, telescope replicator. The weather is pretty bad coming up right now. Right now, it is absolutely pouring down here. Right, you were saying about the camera though. Yes, it's not a wide-angle lens. It's a 90-degree angle lens, so we should not get the distortion, and we will have two lines, taut lines across the image at all times. So if anyone accuses the image of being distorted to bend it into a curve, it would have bent the lines as well. If those lines are still straight, it's not been distorted post-production. That's the whole idea of Mage, and that's what I can't wait. Do you know, I was thinking about that earlier on tonight. I was thinking about our friend Mr. Nothing Jokeley and the way he is. And I may even issue an invite to him, a formal invite. If anyone has contact details from him, perhaps I could DM him via his Discord or something. I'm going to formally invite him on the night when we have the showing of Mage. So post flight, once I've produced the video and I have the evidence showing whatever images, which I'll do as a live premiere, I will follow that with a live stream. I will invite Nathan Oakley on, if he'll come, to discuss Mage. Not anything else, not any of this, is there an edge or is there a dome or anything like that, but literally just to discuss Mage as a friendly invite. I don't think he will. We'll see. Sorry, I haven't let that scroll down, so I'm not quite sure what's happening. Great Bud wishes you could get some rain. Yeah, you can come and collect all the rain you want. Any amount of rain, you're welcome to have free of charge. Yeah, Rachie, if you've not seen it, go back and have a look. And I'm not just trying to get the views, but go back and have a look at some of the early Mage videos, which talk about the design, and you know, there's quite a bit of stuff in there. And if you've not had anything to do with or not watched videos about high altitude balloons, there's quite a bit in there. It's an interesting topic. It genuinely is. I stumbled across it by accident thinking, why are all these videos, which I happen to have seen, all using these lenses? Why don't we do this? And I just decided to do it. So of course I had to start finding out stuff about it. Fortunately, I hooked up with Q, who is extremely experienced in high altitude amateur ballooning, or whatever, and he agreed to help me. So it increased my chances many-fold. Many folds were my chances increased. So I hope you're all okay. As I said, my shifts have been quite bad. I did have that live stream discussion with Bev Try Thinking about level and horizontal. And actually, I really enjoyed that. I mean, I just cannot believe how he cannot grasp that horizontal is not level. And then last night, he was on MC Toon's channel. And I did have time to catch that because he was debating, what's his name? The Maine surveyor, the guy who's a surveyor from Maine. And that was interesting as well. They covered many of the same things. So that was quite interesting to see a professional surveyor's comments, which I didn't see any disagreement with anything I had said, which is good. And of course, Bev was still saying the same sort of thing. So that was good. If you haven't seen that, I would recommend that. That's about an hour, and then after that, the main surveyor had to run, and George, I don't know how to say his name. I always thought it was Hnatiuk, but apparently it's not the way MC said it. So I shall have to learn that. But yeah, George went on, and he carried on with Bev. But at that point, it was getting too late for me because I'd worked today, so I had to leave it. Isaloo, do you know if Q will be doing any more videos? I watched his vids so far. I think they're great. Well, we'll have to let him know, Isaloo. I suggest you drop comments on his video. I'm not sure if he's going to be around tonight. As I said at the top of the stream, this was a last-minute live stream because it was a case of I was planning to film some bits for my next video, but I really just did not feel up to it. Getting home after 10 hours at work and getting home at God, I can't even think of the time, just before 8 o'clock, and I really didn't think it was a good time to start. Andreas inviting Bev for the Mage live stream. I could do that, and I think he'd probably come, but it's quite a few. maybe that would be an interesting thing to do, because we've got Bev, and for all his alleged faults, he was perfectly polite on the live stream. There is Kyle Adams from the Flat Earth Institute of Science. He was very polite. So with both those guys, we could have them on and chat without it just being some sort of swear fest. I shall have a think on that. Oh, Thomas Davenport, you saw me on Fight and you had to subscribe. Well, thank you. Was that my... who was it I was talking to? I can't even remember who it was now on Fight. It was only about a week and a half ago. Do you know, I don't even know which day of the week it is. Who on earth was it on Fight? Spurs. Was that it? Spurs Chemo. He was another one. As mad as a box of frogs, perhaps. But he was totally polite. I had no problems with him. I like that. It was really enjoyable to chat with people, even if you 100% disagree with them, even if you think they're being totally silly in what they're saying. Whereas someone like Oakley, who I really don't think would come on anyway, someone like him, I've got to be honest, I can't really imagine having a conversation with him, even sort of sat in a pub if I bumped into him. Yes, Spurs. Yeah, thank you. But anyway, thank you for joining after seeing me on Fight. I appreciate that. Oh, have I got Crafty Keeler in the house? Lurking Keeler. Oh, Keeler, I did see your community post the other day. I did drop a message on it. If you at any time want to message me about that, please feel free, okay? I was thinking about that on the way home tonight. Yeah, we must hook up sometime. And Brainry, hello there. David Oliver. Tina Jones, more people coming in. Forrest Pfeiffer. Spurs is 100% a Poe. I've heard a lot of people allege that that's the case. Oh, Second Best Bob as well, another member alleging the same. I don't know. I don't know how you would tell for sure, unless you actually catch them in some way, like Oakley was caught about the lighthouse. Then you got proof. Other than that, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Besides, it's nice to have someone to argue with over stupid. Oh, Jessica Mills. Good evening, or good afternoon, or good morning to your 13-year-old son. Hi, wherever you are around the world, coming to you live from the United of Kingdom. Okay, Keela, I'll look forward to that, all right? Whenever you're ready. Right, so I have absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing, planned for tonight, because as I said, it really was a last-minute thing. So if someone wants to hop on the Discord and shoot the breeze about something, anything, I'm more than open. Okay? More than open to do that. I did a video, what's his name? I can't think. Oh, Mr. Truth. His 10 top proofs of a flat earth, of which none are proof of anything other than being able to regurgitate stupidity. And what about that image, his camera zoom image of a boat on a horizon? Now, I'm not saying he did it, because I don't think he would have done. I think he picked it up from somewhere else, but it's fake. Yes, I had comments saying the clouds didn't match up properly, and I agree, but the real killer was the water in the zoom and the super zoom images. The waves were identical. So unless he could take, or whoever it was, take a photo, zoom right in and take another photo before waves have moved at all, it's a fake. And I called it out as a fake during the actual video anyway, because the way the boat had only got a little bit larger, but suddenly all the bottom of the boat appeared and a horizon behind it just screamed fake. I had seen the waves, but I didn't have time to sort of image process and overlay and all that sort of thing. I'm completely open. Why should... Oh, nice one, Andreas. Just saying, when will the 1 minute debunk compilation be? Good point, because that was something else I was going to mention. Because I had another submission which I think I received maybe yesterday, but I was only able to get round to looking at and grabbing a copy of tonight. I have currently 9 1 minute debunk videos, which is great. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to be, Andreas. It will be soon. I've got 2 more days at work and then 4 off. During those 4 off, I'll be pulling together the 1 minute debunk. I just not 100% sure whether I want to do it as a video, as a premiere, or as a live stream. So what are your thoughts on that, people? We could do it as a live stream with us chat about a video that someone's played, then play the next one, and we could even have people picking them at random as the order. Or I could do it as a video, either as just a video or as a premiere. So please let me know, people. What do I think of Ranty's picture of the reflection of flat Earth? Yes, that was on Dan's, wasn't it? Oh my goodness. But I mean, it's quite a stunning revelation to find that a map of the moon looks like the moon. Who'd have thunk it, eh? I thought Ranty had cleared off, jumped off the edge of the flat Earth or something. I'm sure he was giving it up. Or is it an older video that's only just... oh, do it all, says Kiri Mac. Hello, Kiri. You all right, love? Yeah. I thought that was rather precious, and I wish I had seen that. I really do. You know, the actual thing first and done a video on it, because it's a corker, isn't it? Where are we? There's a couple more messages. William, do I know what Flat Earthers think of the new Netflix Challenger 11, the final flight? I don't know. Not heard anything from Flat Earthers. I didn't know there was a documentary. I shall look out for that because I've got Netflix. So thanks for that heads up. Adam, what are the topics touched on by 1 minute debunks? Maybe we could avoid doubling them. Well, that's an interesting thought. On the other hand, if you did happen to pick a topic that is exactly covered by someone else, it's interesting to have 2 independent views on it. Generally, they are, I think they're all bar one are straight flat Earth debunks. One is related to COVID. I think that's right off the top of my head. So feel free. If anyone doesn't know, it's open to anyone, whether you've got a channel or not. You can make it as professional as you want. You can do it with a phone, pointing at sheets of paper with handwritten stuff on. Don't care, right? Because this is not a competition. It's not a who can do the best video with regard to editing and production and all that sort of thing. It's just for fun so that people can have a go. And if they've got a channel, and so far everyone who has submitted has got a channel, however large or not, I will put links and a shout out to your channel, so you'll get hopefully some visitors, likes and subscribes. So it's just for fun. Andreas votes a live stream. I must admit, it does sound quite good, doesn't it? Quite a nice idea. But then timing's going to work out. That may work out, but I'd probably... Oh no, maybe I could be doing that on next Saturday night. We'll have to see. I'll see how I go, because I'm going to have to... Although I guess there's not so much production beforehand. I don't have to produce a video. We just have a live stream with it. Well, if other people like the idea of it, I'm okay. Oh, Heat Shield working on your submission. Okay, well done, Heat. I would say I would want any more to be into me, let's say by Friday the 4th. Okay? September the 4th be with you. That's the deadline. Let's say midnight September... No. Yeah, midnight September the 4th. And so then I could do it from Saturday the 5th onwards. How's that? Blue Feather, your channel is all pet vids, flute and parodies. No problem. No problem. All we're looking for is a debunk of flat Earth or other conspiracies, but do keep away from political. Okay? Other than that, it's pretty much open. Maybe there's a flute conspiracy. But whatever you want, have a go. You know, you're not going to lose anything. I was going to say no one's going to laugh, but they probably will. But that can be good-hearted, and it's for fun anyway. All right? I'll tell you what, something for fun. Someone who has done a submission submitted a video to me, and they said it's a little bit longer than a minute. And I thought, okay, maybe I can just snip a couple of seconds off the beginning or the end, or maybe if it's got a long image in the middle, we can just speed that bit up. It was 15 minutes long. Bless him. So I said, look, I love the video, the idea of the video, but can you make it a shorter? Can you get it down to 1 minute? but maintaining your central message. And do you know what? He did. So I was well pleased with that. And that's one that's going to show. So I'm not knocking him because it was a good video with something that needed saying, I think. But yeah, 15 minutes was pushing it a bit. You know, if someone does a video and it ends up a couple seconds longer, hey, we can forgive that. But 15 minutes, nice try. September is gone. Yes, I do mean October. So why the hell does... Oh, blimey. I've been telling you a whole load of dates wrong, haven't I, guys? Let's... Oh, no. Who's a donkey? Right, we'll have to revisit the whole thing about Mage. Right, so where are we? So Mage... No, those dates were right. Oh, the dates worked out anyway. Yeah, Mage is still... the current launch window is 3rd to 6th of October, but the weather is looking bad. After that, it's going to be the 13th to the 26th. Everything seemed to match out. That's September. Well, I don't know quite how that happened. Right, so we are now Thursday. So, okay, change of plan. Change of plan for any 1 minute debunks, let's say by midnight on Saturday. Then with a likely live stream. Oh no, that won't work. Get them to me as soon as possible. Let's stick with Friday. So you've got till end of play Friday. So that's the 2nd. Midnight on Friday the 2nd. Or at least as long as it's there by the time I get up on Saturday morning. Which means we can do a live stream this Saturday the 3rd. How's that? Yeah, sorry guys. Yes, the penny just dropped. But at least my sound worked, didn't it? I saw, who was it? Someone said, I bet his mic doesn't work. And I actually thought of, let me see. I actually thought of coming on stream like this and say, haha, my sound's working. What do you think of that, guys? But then I wondered, would I screw it up and then not be able to come back again? Who knows? Yes, Tina, the penny did just drop. I'm fired? Okay. All right, I'm fired. I'll get Mrs. Sensible. She can take over. How's that sound? Time travel is indeed real, and I've just proved it. Wake me up when September comes. Oh, gosh. Do you know, I didn't even see all those comments. Flutes for flat earth. Yes. Well, I did mean October the 4th, but what we actually mean is October the 2nd. So, right, it has to be there. Regard it as midnight Friday, but as long as I've got it by the time I start pulling things together on Saturday. So, as I said, I've got 9 right now, which you think, well, 9 minutes, that's not very long. But if we're doing a video, talking about it, the subject and the video and the channel or whatever, I think that will last quite nicely. We can make it a bit of fun. Maybe we can even have a vote for the best debunk. As I said, not for the quality of the video, because I don't want people to be put off by the fact that perhaps they're only doing it on a phone and they've not got software to edit it. It's just the debunk. You know, is it a new debunk? Has someone come up with a way of debunking something that we've not come across before, for instance? Or have they just explained that debunk in a wonderful way that perhaps we haven't thought of before? It might be fun. Yeah, I think we should go for that. Definitely. And I'm scrolling back down again. The joys of live, yes. What do you mean, Mark? Mark, what do you mean, yes, get Mrs. S? You don't want to see her, she's in bed. Actually, I don't want to see her. She's in bed. She'll kill me if she's watching this. And she isn't. She's watching some rubbish on Netflix, some box set. Oh, right. Brother Grief's going to order me some good weather for my launch date because God owes him a favour. Nice one, brother. Yeah, we could do with that. And while you're at it, can I have a nicer car to go in? Yeah, perhaps a Lambo. I like Lambos. I drove a Lambo. I am inside the Matrix. You thought you were having a bad week, says G Mac. Well, I hope your week's not too bad, my friend. Black holes may make time travel possible. We could be able to go back to the heyday of the flat Earth. Because what on earth is happening? Is it Ranty is supposedly giving up flat Earth. I've got about 60 links. I can open, all the tabs at once, and it goes to about 60 channels, flat Earth and things like that. So I can have a look. Have they done a new video? Have they done a new video? And nothing's appearing. These guys are dying on their feet. I was thinking the other day, Mitchell from Australia hasn't put out anything for about three and a half weeks. Excuse me, three and a half weeks. And his last one was just a mirror of Sleeping Warrior. And Sleeping Warrior keeps putting out mirrors of other people. So, yeah, Irish, if you want, you can take the Jag. That's not a problem. Not a problem at all. Yeah, so it's getting really quite disappointing that there's no one there. Lambo, you want a Tesla, go electric and save the planet in all its globeness. But do you know what, GMAC? At the time I drove a Lambo, it was a Christmas present, one of these experience things, and it was on a real racetrack. I really enjoyed it. I did not try and thrash it or go as fast as I could because I know I don't have that capability, and I was also informed that there's an excess, even though you're insured, an excess of £5,000 for damage. I just wanted to enjoy the experience, but when we came round to the home straight, just put my foot down hard so you could really hear the engine, and just behind your ears, the sound of money exploding was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And boy, do those cars look good. Definitely. I've got nothing against electric cars. I've never driven one. I actually do want to have a go. I know that the torque they've got is phenomenal, but I know around my way, which is fairly rural, I could easily imagine getting stuck without anywhere to charge it. I could charge outside my house if I got my father-in-law to move his car, because he's parked at the only place where I could possibly charge. I don't know. I'm not anti them, but because I definitely accept climate change. I have always been pro the environment, so I don't do anything anti-environmental if I can help it. Now, some people might turn around and say, well, you drive that big Land Rover. Yes, I do, but I forget the percentage of the environmental damage done by a vehicle that's the construction of the vehicle and the mining of the materials and so on. That vehicle is now 48 years old, and with a rebuild. So I don't change my car every couple of years, so that saves a lot. So it might be worse on the fuel, but I don't do that many miles. I only do sort of 20-mile commute, and I don't just go around on a jolly. I don't push it hard, so I'm not burning fuel unnecessarily. And my missus has got a little i10, and it's got all the economy computers and stuff on it, and it's actually become a challenge to see how high we can get it. And she gets frustrated if it drops a bit. So do I. So we do quite well generally with that. It's other aspects in our life where it's hard. Our electric bill's through the roof because we've got so many people living here, some of whom are elderly, and the amount of washing and tumble drying, and it's necessary tumble drying, is just killing us with the amount of energy we're using. But we try. Right, yes, the MiG-29. David Keller's saying that's MiGflug, isn't it? To go to the edge of space. I did contact them. I sent a message to MiGflug to find out about it, because there's a waiting list. I believe it's about €12,500. I may be wrong on that. Because I thought, do you know what? I would love to do that. If I could get that, maybe I could do a GoFundMe and push for support and all that sort of thing. But do you know what? They didn't get back to me because the whole thing with the MiG-29 flights, the edge of space flights, it's all on hold. I have heard a rumour that the MiG is no longer operable and they can't get the spares. I don't know. But boy, would I love to do that. I'd be scared as anything because I don't do heights. I'm okay in an aircraft, but I'm a bit nervous very nervous of heights. If you put me on a ladder, sort of 20 feet up, I'd be like this. But up in an airplane, I love the view. I just don't like the landing. I mean, landings and takeoffs are obviously the dangerous thing. All right, Rach is talking about curve. A Ford Bronco from 78 that eats fuel but always passes smog. Its emissions are really good. Well, actually, Globe Mom, the good thing about my Land Rover is, even though I replaced the engine, I changed it from a 2.25 petrol to a 2.5 turbo diesel, and then took the turbo out so it didn't use as much fuel because I didn't need the power and the speed. Because the vehicle is 1972, it doesn't have to pass proper emissions check. It's a visual smoke test. So basically, the guy stands at the back. Oh, that's a bit smoky, and that's it. But it passes that anyway. Well, actually, I say it passes that. It passed that last time. I haven't had it tested for about 3 years because it no longer needs testing due to its age. Adam likes the landings and the takeoffs. Yeah, the takeoffs, I like the being pushed back in your seat, the thrust, and the actual takeoff. What I don't like is when you're sort of just above building height, because you realise if something goes wrong there, they got no opportunity to try and put things right. That's what I don't like. As soon as you get a bit higher, I'm golden again. Oh, the dangerous part of flight is hitting the ground at 500 miles an hour. Well, that's probably quite true, Steve. But then, if you get distracted, so you forget to hit the ground, then you'll continue flying a la Douglas Adams, won't you? That's the secret to flying. That'd be good. Irish has got a little X-type. Oh. Fear is the mind killer. The little death, isn't it, Blue Feather? I shall let my fear pass round me, and then I shall turn the mind's eye and see where my fear has gone. Something like that. And only I shall remain. I know that's not word for word. Anyone else know where that comes from? Blue Feather, don't tell them. That'll be interesting. Fear is the mind killer. Sorry, I'm just reading some of your chats. It's quite interesting. I think I just sit here and watch you guys. I got sod all to say. Would I go abseiling? David Oliver, no. Because even if... Do you know, I like the idea of it. I suppose I'd be worried about what if something went wrong. But what I could not do is step over the edge. Just no way could I step off the edge of a building or off the top of a cliff. Couldn't do it. Just couldn't. Shame. Mrs. S, she'd do it. She's been up... I put her up in a hot air balloon. I put her up in a glider. The parents and the teachers she used to work with at the school she used to work at, they all chipped in and paid for a parachute jump. She did that. Didn't bat an eyelid. She was all smiling. And the guy says she doesn't know what's coming, does she? And afterwards he says, surely you were scared. She says, no, it's brilliant. I'll do it again now, can we? She has absolutely zero fear of heights. And I missed if anyone recognised that quote thing. June, that's right. Yes, the Bene Gesserit. Dora and Koo, Blue Feather, who obviously had sort of quoted it, Brother Grief. I absolutely love June. And the prequel books done by his son and Kevin Anderson, and the follow-ups. Absolutely love it. There's a new June movie out. They've done it yet again. So hopefully they can do it justice. I've got a copy of the De Laurentiis one, and also the Sci-Fi Channel 3-part series, which covered about the first 2.5 books or whatever. Love it. Absolutely love it. You go backwards. Yeah, but CJ, you still have to step off. You're stood safely at the top. You dangerously get near to a possibly crumbling edge, and then you step over it. That sounds stupid to me. I would stay at the top, safely away from the edge, and then get further away from the edge. In fact, this summer we went down to Cornwall, me and Mrs. S. That was the time when I got ill. And we popped to just driving around, had a look towards this lighthouse, wandered down to this place, and the path went close to the cliff. And I could barely move. I was hanging onto the fence. My knees lock. It really is a sort of primitive response. I cannot overcome it, even if I know I'm safe. If I can be in a building, and actually, in fact, I could do this sort of 2 stories up in a building, look down like that, and I'm fine. Okay, I can look up at the sky, and I'm fine. But if I sort of look along where I am, and at the corner of my eye, I can see the ground's there, my stomach sort of turns, and I feel ill. Definitely. Bill thinks all the debunkers are scaring the flurfers away. I think so, Bill, because they were quite happy to come out with rubbish like. Oh gosh, what's his name? Sleeping Warrior with his red shift, blue shift for sunrise and sunset. They've come up with dirt like that and present it. No embarrassment. So why have they stopped doing that? I think they know that the minute they put something out, there's now more of us than them. I know that in the real wide world, there's a lot more people who know the shape of the earth than those flat earthers. But on YouTube, I think at one time, there was probably more of them than the debunkers. And they've been nibbled away at, and the number of debunkers have grown. They're slowly going down, and now when one of those brings out some dirt, they get swamped. I mean, that guy has gone. JM Truth has got his butt handed to him. Ranty or whoever has said he's leaving Flat Earth. Mitchell from Australia is just not doing anything. The list just goes on and on. On and on and on. GMAC doesn't have a problem with heights just falling from them. Well, actually, as I said before, it's not the falling, it's hitting the ground. Hey, have you ever heard that theory that, you know, when you dream, if you have a dream where you're falling, you always wake up before you hit the ground, and that if you hit the ground, you die in your sleep? I don't know if you ever heard that as a rumour. I had a falling dream once when I hit the ground. For some reason, in the dream, I was taking part. I was scared, but I was doing it, jumping off of cliffs, diving into the sea. Okay, and as I dived, and I was scared as I was diving, the sea went out, leaving. Boom. Man, that was scary. And I woke up absolutely sweltering, or cold sweat. That was the worst dream I've ever had. Definitely. What was this? I've done abseiling. David Oliver's done abseiling and craped his pants, but still did it. Oh, good. Then did it again. But yes, it's scary. Yeah, I'm sure that if you'd done it once, then the second time wouldn't be. And then after that, it's a doddle. But I'm just so scared of heights. But like I said, it's not a logical scared. It's not, I think, do you know what, I will stand in front of those people because I know that I know my stuff and I can talk to them about whatever. Do you know what I mean? I can overcome. It's not this. It's really primitive. And my stomach goes, my legs lock, I can go to cold sweat and shakes. I can't stop it. So I don't put myself in that position because I know that I couldn't do it. I could imagine jumping out of an aircraft with a parachute if I had a parachute on and that aircraft is going to crash. Under those circumstances, perhaps, yes, I could do it. But even then, yeah. Yeah, Dora, fear of heights, mostly logical, but I cannot overcome it, sadly enough. Yeah, but not in planes, absolutely. I was very fortunate to be able to spend some time in a helicopter on one of these ride-along things. You can, in certain places, if you're lucky, go on a ride-along with police officers. And I actually swung a ride-along on a police helicopter, and it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I was so excited that I didn't have any of that fear, and it just felt odd hanging there. It felt so secure. It was like being in a tall building, looking down, and so it didn't feel that strange to me. That was quite an experience. Oh, David Oliver's thank you, David, just super chatted £5 saying, nope, I've had dreams where I fell, hit the ground, but carried on down a pitch black hole. Woke up on the floor covered in bruises. I was in the top bunk. Oh dear. Actually, David, you doing that super chat reminds me, as my stream ended the other night, and there's the final comments which go on a little while after the stream stops. Someone said, oh, he didn't read out my super chat, or he missed someone's super chat. So I've got them here. I'm not sure which one it was I missed. I think it was Sir Pickapup the Benevolent who super chatted £5 saying, this was to Bev. Actually, I need to open up the whole thing so I get it. Go and study geodetic surveying and you'll be able to measure the curve, as these people measure the planet for a living. That is how. And in case I didn't get these ones, after that came Channel Right, who super chatted £2 saying, for Mage 2, keep up the good work, Mr. Sensible. I think I read that one, but there's another one I'm not sure. Mike71 super chatted $5. Here's for Mage 2. So thank you, Mike71. As always, I really do try to keep up with super chats. They're very, very much appreciated, and I do my damnedest to make sure I read them out. And actually, as it came up in conversation with Bev, I would read out any super chat, even if it was saying, Mr. S, you're wrong about this, that, or whatever. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Or to aimed at a guest, like I did to Bev, and I read out any super chat unless they're just abusive. You know, if it was rude and just, you know, under those circumstances, I wouldn't read about, but otherwise I would. So thank you. Sorry, who was that? Just read that one off. David just made up that one. Appreciate it, my friend. Wow. So what else? Surf went on a few heli rides when he was a kid. There's a pilot that would sell rides at our Independence Day festival. Yeah. Years ago, I think I was about 17, at one of these little seaside resort holiday thingamajigs. They were doing that, and you paid 10 quid for about 2-minute ride up, have a look at the sea, back down again. And I did that. And that was my only previous experience with a helicopter. Helicopters are amazing. Absolutely incredible. I'd love to do that again. Fat Whippet says, oh, it's just jumped. I think it said fear of heights. Fear of heights is rational, unlike a friend of mine who's scared of birds. Well, perhaps he's met Mrs. Sensible. I wouldn't blame him. Oh dear. Wouldn't blame him at all. Yeah, hello, Surf. Welcome to you. Oh, and S. Thurston 2. Good evening to you. Just another David. Small BST CBR. Do you know, I never know how to say your name. Smulbustgubber. Or should I just spell it out? I'm not sure. That's a puzzle. Oh, Ranty is live in 20 minutes. See if I can have a chat with him. That would be interesting. Bob, give him a shout. See if he wants to come on. I don't know quite how he'd organise that. Unless he's doing it via Discord, and I could jump in his Discord and we could be chatting at this end, hearing him. But it'd also depend if it's going to be a proper, fair talk and discussion, or if he's, you know, I don't know how he is with people. Oh, I'm thinking, yeah, Ranty. Sorry, beg your pardon, Ranty. I'm getting muddled up with Quantum Eraser, and I said about Ranty leaving Flat Earth. It's Quantum Eraser who said he's left Flat Earth. I'm not sure about Ranty. Yeah, so second best Bob, if you have any way of quickly getting in touch with him, or letting me know, is he doing it open on Discord? That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Smoking. Still only e-cigs. How long's that, guys? Does anyone know? I'll try and work it out. I think I've got a feeling it was about the 5th of September. But I'm not sure. Perhaps someone can look at my back catalogue and let me know. Ranty and Quantum are leaving. Ooh. Mark is scared of bums. Why are you scared of bums? Birds are scared of heights. Oh dear. Ranty's leaving because he got a job. Well, that proves it. The only reason they're doing Flat Earth is because they can't get a job. He's giving the streams on his channel to Brandon Toy. Brandon Toy, that's a name I've heard of, but I know nothing of, Keeler. Nothing at all. And Fight's got a debate starting in 17 minutes. Oh, they're all cutting in. So Hads, Ranty's got the painters and decorators in, has he? I don't know if that's an English expression or a worldwide one. Okay, second best. Never mind. Yes, let Ranty have the redecorating job at Jodrell Bank. Yeah. I tell you, it would be interesting if you got any job funded by NASA. That would be good, wouldn't it? Thank you, OMD Fox, but I'm not sure how many days it is. It's quite a few, and I'll be honest, and I'm surprised. I'll be absolutely honest. I thought, do you know, with the support, and I felt sort of quite ready to do it because all that stress had gone. You know, I'm sure that people thought, yeah, he's just making excuses, putting it off, but it was genuine. But I still thought, hey, I stand a chance of doing it for a while, but it's going to be really hard. But do you know what? Today at work, I went out, I stood in the smoking area with my e-cig because it's the only place we can use them. Go figure. So there's people who are busy trying to give up or have given up smoking and are using e-cigs, and they're forced into an area with people smoking. But anyway, so I'm stood there. Someone was puffing away, and obviously I got whiffs of their cigarette. And that last time that happened, my nose really twitched. And today it was, oh yeah, I can smell that, and I just carried on. So I'm feeling really good about that. Is that what you reckon, Rachie? So Ranty said he's lean because Flat Earth is dead. Is that because it's dead because no one's interested, or it's dead as in he knows it's been beaten flat? Oh dear, I hadn't thought of that. He did a stream where he talked about how many super chats Fight had compared to his own channel. Oh, bless him. Well, I'm sure, or at least I have quite a good feeling that during a live stream, Fight might get more super chats than me. I've got a feeling he possibly has more patrons. I know he's got more subscribers, so should I just give up? That's a pathetic excuse. It's down to him how many subscribers and patrons and whatever he gets. It's, you know, that's his problem. Beaten to a pulp. Absolutely, Tina. Hello, Snark. Getting a Glober's attention's not guaranteed. Ah, Heat says, thank you. Yeah, 3 weeks ago in your community page, but I don't. Community page don't have exact date. No, I don't, because that was it. Last time I looked, it just said 2 weeks. And I think, oh great, I can't remember the date. I suppose I could try and work it out against calendars and stuff. So I think if that says 3 weeks now, it's probably about 3 weeks, and I got a feeling it was a Thursday or a Friday. So it's probably about 3 weeks and a day. 3 weeks, is that right? I'll have to try and watch it to tick over 4 weeks. But yeah, as you know, it's over the. I think that. I mean, I know the first 6 months are pretty dangerous, but the first sort of week or two are absolutely lethal. So I think I'm doing quite well, and I'm happy with it. Yeah, 9. It's unfair, isn't it? When I first started where I worked, literally as I started the job, and they had in-house training, I didn't really know. I was a bit naughty. I had a small e-cig, and I'd take a sneaky puff. And it was several weeks training. And partway through, the trainer had to be covered by someone else because they had to go to some high-powered meeting. And when they came back that afternoon, they said, do you know what? The guy who was leading the meeting introduced himself and then said, oh, you might see me with one of these. Because he's going back a few years, and a lot of people didn't know about them. He said, you might see me with one of these. It's an e-cig, and explained about it. And happily was doing his talking and showing his diagrams, puffing away on his e-cig. She came back and said, it's amazing. I've never seen anything like it. What an amazing thing. I said, well, you're not very observant because I'm sat here and I've been using one. There we go. And it doesn't bother people. And yet they've decided to lump it in with cigarettes, and many places treat it the same. I understand that if someone is not a smoker and not a vapor, they don't want great big clouds of vapour around. Of course I understand that. But likewise, if they catch a whiff of one, it's not going to do them any harm at all. Oh, basic trigonometry. A super chatted £2. Sorry, Ranty. I like that. Do you know what? I might super chat myself. I just realised I've got $1. Can I super chat myself? Super. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I see. Do you know what? I've never done it to myself before. Oh, what's it doing? Oh, bloody hell, I don't know my credit card thing. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, remember next time. Oh, and I've just got another super chat come in from, who is it? Oh, the excellent Mr. Sensible. What's he say? Excellent channel, Mr. S. Wow, Ranty, what do you think of that? And do you know what? I earned 70% of that. I think I'm making a mistake here. Oh dear. Oh right, the previous live stream was September. That's the previous month, the 8th. But what date was that? So it's probably about the 10th or 11th. So yeah, it's about 3 weeks, isn't it? Oh, Snark, thank you. €2. Agreed, Mr. Sensible. Super chatting myself, not a euphemism. Wow, there we go. Sad, isn't it, Ranty? Maybe Ranty should make himself loads of sock channels and just super chat himself loads. I can't believe I just done that. That's stupid. Never mind. And I'd never noticed before that you can super chat £1, or maybe it works with $1. Super chat £1, but you can't say anything. It's only if you do £2 or $2 maybe or more. I had no idea about that. You learn something new every day, don't you? Unless you're a flat earther, of course, in which case you regurgitate some crap given you by someone else. Oh, other news. Mr. Mark Steele and Sir Robin Garrett, you know, the one who bravely beat a swift retreat. A secret source of mine who had provided those original videos let me know some more information. This is not information that is gained illegally in any way. Imagine, let's say you belonged to some group or something, and this information was being posted, and he's just decided to spread it a little wider. Well, Mr. Garrett, I think it was, that's Sir Robin Garrett, posted that between he and Mark, they have totaled up a grand total of fines of £30,000. £30,000, and they think they're going to fight it in court and not have to pay a penny. In fact, he said, "I will not pay a half penny towards it." I did see there was a super chat. Irish Dublin Girl, thank you for $2 US. We'll match that, Mr. S. And a big smiley face. Big smiley face back to you too, Irish. Thank you. Yeah, Lee Garrett and Mark Steele. £30,000 worth of fines they've clocked up. I know that when Sir Robin Garrett said about this £10,000 fine, quite a few people commented saying things like, 10,000 it can't be, or he's just boasting or whatever. But in fact, here in the UK, the fines start lower, depending on what it is, and then they keep doubling up to a certain amount. But for organisers of events that are breaching all the COVID stuff, I'm not sure if that starts at or is, but it can certainly go up to £10,000 as they've organised the event and encouraged all the people to go there. So that's going to smart a bit when they realise they're going to have to pay that. Right, let's have a look. Whatever. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm scrolling the screen and not the chats. Is there a Tsar dance? Snark, I'm not sure. By the way, I had a couple of super chats the other night from someone for $2,500 and $5,000. CLP, and I didn't know what that was. But that's Chilean pesos, and each one is worth about a penny. But I do appreciate it anyway, but it did make me laugh. I thought, $10,000, that's not bad, is it? I should have shown that to Ranty. He'd have had a popped a vein somewhere, I should think. Forrest Pfeiffer says a student here in Nottingham got fined 10 grand for organising a house party of 50. Wow. And as a student, he's going to find that quite hard to pay. 9 says they've changed that. Your first super chat was 79p and I never got my money back. Sorry, 9, I don't understand. Do I owe you a super chat or something? Yeah, I don't know about that. Because when I super chatted, it's always been an amount so I can make the comment. And I admit I have not super chatted much on my channel. I really ought to, because I feel I deserve to super chat myself more often, only on other channels. So I never realised about that minimum and that you can't say anything, which seems a bit mean. If they perhaps limited you to a number of characters, I could understand it a bit. Although, personally, I think if someone's actually going to the time, trouble and financial cost of actually making a super chat, then I think they deserve to be able to say something. And I think it's a bit tight if you were charging them for, sort of only, 40 characters or whatever. Yeah. Because no one's going to write War and Peace in a super chat, are they? Or if they are, they ain't going to get it all read out. Maybe there's a maximum length, I don't know. Is it? Let's have a look. See if it says. Doesn't say. Oh no, 150 characters. Although I wonder if you... that's interesting. So at £1 you get no characters. £2 is 50. 5 is 150. £10 200. £20 225 characters. £50 250. 270 characters for £100. 290 for 200, so only £100 more for another 20 characters. That's pricey. £300 give you 310, 400 330, and for £500 you get 350 of your finest characters. Hey Snark, test it out. Go on, test it out. It goes red. £500. I mean, I know when I was doing the Mage, the Mage flight vid, or actually I've forgotten which one of the live streams with Mage, and there was an amazing amount of support, and I got some very large donations through Super Chat. Yeah, it was amazing, but that was for a particular reason. Oh, 9, you sent the first Super Chat when I was monetized. So did I not read it when you say I owe you 79p? And thank you for that. I bought a packet of crisps with it. 9. It was nice. Oh, Pete Bremble. Pete, that is super chatted £1.99. I've got to read it all out, haven't I? War and Peace. That is comment of the night, super chatted or otherwise. That's amazing. I like that. Oh, right. Snark, €5. Do the math. 5 super chats of €5, 750 characters. Yes. They haven't thought that one out, have they? Oh, I was still chuckling about that, Pete. That's brilliant. I shouldn't have said that. Rob Fowler, I'm a character. How much am I worth? Rob, you're an absolute diamond, okay? Don't you worry about it. And ignore what everyone else has been saying about you behind your back, okay? You're a diamond. What is the super chat? Is a burger kind ad? Sorry, I don't get that comment. Blue Feather, I am full of movie and book references. Oh, perhaps we should try and test you. Movie and book references. I'll have a think on that one. See if, or perhaps you can test me if there's something. That'd be interesting. Oh, I see. I wanted. Oh, yes. Do you know? I remember that 9. I remember that. Oh, sorry. Have you just hidden your post? In which case, I was retracted. I won't say that. But I think I do remember that post. Sounds familiar. I presume now on the recorded stream when people, does it show up on the side? Because that's interesting. Never thought about that. Where someone has a message retracted or modded away, if it's already appeared in there. I guess modded ones are held for mod review, aren't they? Yes, that's a bit different. Stay at 127.0.0.1 and wear an effing 255.255.255.0. Nerds only. Well, Snark, you do realise that computer freaks peek before they poke? Are you aware of that? Oh, I see people having a conversation in there about COVID masks. It's quite interesting what gets chatted about. And it's fun doing a live stream. Oh, it's fun doing a live stream anyway. I really enjoy it. But it's fun doing a live stream without a plan because you never quite know where it's going to go or how. And often they've been some of the better, some of the better, as in more enjoyable streams. Mark, £2. Tesco Value Super Chat. It should actually be in white with 3 blue lines on it though. But thank you for that. I got in Mrs. S's bad books for Valentine's. You must have seen it. If you haven't, have a look online sometime. For Tesco Value Valentine card. It's a joke. You just print it out yourself and it said Tesco Value Valentine, sincerity guaranteed. And so I printed it out and gave it to her for Valentine's Day. She was absolutely fuming. And you might think, oh yeah, fair enough. No, that's not the reason she was fuming. She was fuming because I hadn't realised I'd done exactly the same joke the year before. So for 2 years running, she didn't get a decent Valentine's card. Oh boy, did I pay for that. Anyone who's familiar with Fawlty Towers, Mrs. S is Sybil. Okay, now you know what I'm struggling with. Gary, why Benga? Good evening to you, Gary, and I hope that you are able to post without getting modded away. Bob the Science Guy and Blue Marble Science both say you have to steer a car to adjust for the coriolis when driving down the highway. Do you agree? I think, as asked before by people, where have they said that? Do feel free to post a link. Okay. Oh, it's been modded away. Well, there you go. Anyway, Gary, if you can by all means, email me a link or DM me a link to where they say that so that I know the full context in which they said that. If they said that, then I'll respond. And I'd respond even if I was going to say, actually, I disagree with them. Okay? But you're going to have to show me where. I think that's fair enough. Mr. Sincerity. Yeah, and that was guaranteed, IMD Fox. Oh, Gary, have you been... bothering Jose and his boom show, have you? Have you never thought, Gary, it would be much more fun for you and possibly for us as well, instead of copy pasta, actually get in there with real argument? Now, we may think your argument's a load of rubbish, but if you've got new ideas or you're defending some of these ideas, or you feel you have some evidence to support these ideas, that's fine. You're more than welcome. You really are. But, pardon me, but there is absolutely no point. You are totally wasting your time by just reposting and spamming copy pasta and then getting it hidden by the mods. The only people that see it for more than a second are the mods. Or me if I want to go back and look at it, which I don't. So, what's the point? Who is sad here? Us who are allegedly all mistaken about the globe, or you spending your time going Control C, Control V, and then getting someone doing Control X on it or whatever. What a waste of a life. That's a bit sad, mate. I'm sure you can do better than that. We can disagree, but you must be able to do better than that. Why don't you go along and see Multi Tom Tom, copy pasta into him, and then ask him if he's got that undebunkable video yet that I've been now waiting for about 10 months for. Okay? So what else we got in here? What's this? They also said if you follow a land track like a highway. Oh, that's so more of your copy pasta. See, the thing is, it's there for so short a time that half your copy pasta I've not even seen because my kindly mods have already modded it away. Oh dear. Yes, and as Adam L says, could you provide the links and some timestamps, please, Gary? So mods, if Gary can come up with a link and timestamp, please obviously check any. Oh, he can't post links in here, can he? Unless I'm making him a mod. Do you think I should make Gary a mod? Like Right the Hand wanted to be a mod on my channel. Nah. Sorry, Gary. You'll have to either email it or pop it into Discord. And then someone can check it out. And if it's a valid link to, I've forgotten who it was, Bob the Science Guy or someone else saying these things you claim they said, then we'll post it on here. Then we'll look to respond. Pop Parrot, sorry for the clash. What are you apologising for the band? Or what? I'm not sure what the clash is. Have I clashed with a stream or something? Oh! Yes, that was Tusk, wasn't it? Yeah, no worries, Pip. Right at the top of the show, I did pop his link up there, and I did encourage anyone who wanted to go over and see the premiere. That Tusk did a premiere. I haven't got it. Oh, I should have it here a second. 1 second. Oh, where are we? Tusk. Where's he gone? Oh, I can't see the message now. He did send me the message, and I can't remember the topic of the video. But on Pip's channel, Tusk just did a live premiere at 9 p.m. So if anyone hasn't seen it, do consider popping over at some point and seeing it, even if it's now, and then pop back again afterwards. So yeah, Pip, don't worry about it. These things are going to happen. No biggie, okay? Blue Feather, never mod me. The last thing you want to put me in is a position of power. But you don't know the power of the dark side of the mod. Slim Living Cyborg is very funny. Was that the Tusk one? I hope it was. Oh, it's not safe for work. Okay, Tusk. Well, I hope your premiere went well. And I'll try and catch that later. And Pip's put a link to it. Thanks, Pip. Hilarious. I'm intrigued. Intrigued I am. Arno Num, massage needed. Look, this isn't some kind of cheap pickup joint, you know, Arno. Although if someone's handing out massages, I could do with one as well. I do love a good massage. Message not authorised by brain. Message deleted for reasons. Null. What is going on here? Message deleted by Tusk. I'll tell you what, I think... No, I was going to hide it. Oh, I've lost my chat. There's my chat back again. The Tusk vid, there was a robot in it. Ooh. Every time I hear the name Gary, it reminds me of Fools and Horses. Gary in Fools and Horses? Gary? Who was Gary in Fools and Horses? Oh, yes. Yeah, beg your pardon. You're right. My deepest apologies. It was Glober Mom's channel where Tusk was premiering. I do apologise. Quite right, Globe Mom. And at the top of the stream, I did say it was Globe Mom's channel, and we did provide the link at least twice. Sorry, my confusion. My bad. We're still getting all these message deleted. Message approved by Mr. Sensible. By the Snark. Do you know what? Do you know, you mods are doing a good job. If I try and look at one of these messages, half the time it goes up faster than I can get on to click on it. Second best Bob's going to check on Ranty. What, see if he's asleep? See if he needs tucking in? Well, Bob, do tell him that I had many super chats, including one from Mr. S. Do you know, it's almost... Yeah, do you know what? That super chat that I made was not for... What's her name? Was it Rachel? Was it Rachel? Who was it that didn't get... Who all the super chats didn't get to? I'm sure it was Rachel. Perhaps someone... Oh, Foreigner, they picked up. You could only say Gary. Yes, Fat, I remember that now. Tina Jones, good night to you. Thank you very much for joining me. See you again, okay? Oh, Gary Wybenga. A whole section comes from Jose's show where Brandon Toy was talking to Bob the Science Guy about what I just told you. Thank you, Gary, for that. Obviously, that's not the full link. That's just the partial link, which is an interesting way of doing, but I appreciate that. I'm going to grab a copy of that. So I won't be looking at that now, Gary. So let me just leave myself a note. So that's from Gary Wybenga. And it's... Sorry, who was it? Was it Fight or... Brandon Toy. Talk to Bob. Okay. Brandon Toy. Bob. Okay. Gary, when I get the chance, when I get the opportunity, I will look at that, because I did ask you, and you have now delivered, okay? And I can't say fairer than that. So what I'll actually do, so I don't lose it, I'm going to email it to me, because otherwise I'm likely to lose it. Mr. Sensible, add subject Gary. Okay, I've got the partial link and that, which means when I get it, there we go. I've got it in my email box, so I won't lose it. Okay, fair enough, Gary. I will have a... sorry, Gary. Yes, it is Gary. Lots of... Too many Garys. Now I have that. When I get the chance, I will look at that and I will address it just for you, Gary. Maybe we'll do it in a live stream or whatever. But I'll try and do that soon. I'm not going to sort of leave it weeks and weeks and weeks. But so that you're aware, it's not going to be in the next few days because I've got work and stuff. But thank you for that. Now, that wasn't so hard, was it, Gary? A bit of sensible discourse. So do go ahead, if you wish, and make sensible... Mr. Heat Shield, Mr. Sensible just gave a link. Not quite sure what that was. What Gary has done is provided the second half of a YouTube link where it's the V equals. It's the string of characters so that I can have a look at the video, which has apparently got the evidence in. So, yeah. So, Gary, why not? Now you've done some sensible posts, which are welcome. By all means, argue the flat Earth or dome or whatever it is that you believe, without just loads of copy pasta, and you're welcome to do so. See, I'm a nice guy. It starts off with him telling you how to follow a land track to stay somehow attached to the Earth, which would keep you in line with the Coriolis effect. Okay, thank you. And we'll see if you are correct or if you are just mistaken or whatever. So, Gary, I shall say this. I've never said this before. For that, and that only so far, respect. Okay? Fair enough. I think we need to move on. And your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries. That's not you, Gary. We're talking about something else, so please don't take offence. This message is only a flesh wound. What the hell is up with you guys? What have you been drinking? All I've got is a manky cup of tea. Actually, it's not bad. Not bad at all. This product is highly recommended by Mr. Sensible. It's the Contigo thermos cup. No, not thermos. Vacuum flask cup. It's metal, so it won't break. It has a lock on the top, so you can't spill. It's wonderful, and with everyday use will last around 2 years. Available from many stockists at approximate cost of £20 to £25 depending on colour. I recommend it. Does that mean YouTube, I have to advertise this as having paid? No, it's not paid advertisement. Unless Contigo wish me to sponsor them. Tea here too, Parrot. Can't go wrong with tea. Sensible endorsed. Oh dear. Oh, do you remember that time? Because I know that Simon Dan's done a few endorsements, and I'm not knocking him for it. I don't know how I would actually do one other than doing it jokey like that, and then the product supplier might get a bit miffed about it. I know Dan's done a few. Do you remember? Can anyone tell me what product? Here's a question. What product did Creaky Blinder endorse in one of his videos or streams? Can anyone remember what it was? And it was funny. Yeah, Parrot, you say £25 for a cup. That's just what Mrs. Sensible says. But I can drop these. What happens is at work, I'm pretty much stuck to the desk and can't get out. I make a cup of tea in this. I can sip it at any time. I can knock it over without losing it or spilling it anywhere. And it keeps it hot easily for 2 hours, or cold if you put cold stuff in it. You get those ordinary sort of travel cups just with a push-on lid with a slidey bit. They're useless. The lids pop off. You can't lock them properly. They don't keep things hot. This does. It's absolutely wonderful. And I wouldn't hesitate, and I have recommended it to no end of people. Mrs. S always used to moan at me having spent £25. This is my second one of these. First one lasted about 2.5, 3 years before it finally ran out. It finally gave up because the mechanism wore out. She tried it a couple of times. She bought one. Absolutely wonderful thing. Tech blog. Oh, sorry. Was there another? Yeah. I just want to go back. No. Tech blog just super chatted $10 US. Greetings from the other side of the pond. Well, thank you, Tech blog. Oh, that was $10 US. Yeah. Thank you, Tech blog. I appreciate that. What you're doing down my garden and the other side of the pond is not that far because it's not that big a pond. But I appreciate the... why don't you just pop in? Okay? For $10 you can pop in and you can have a hot seat next to me. Thank you for that, Tech. Appreciate it. A shaving machine, says Smulber. Absolutely spot on, my friend. It was a skull shaver, wasn't it? Because I'll tell you what, I didn't buy a skull shaver because that Creaky was advertising. I can't remember the make of it, but I have bought one, and they are rather good. What's happening here? Okay, right. Well, I do apologise, people. I can see I've got another super chat. Let me just read that. Mitch Goldstein for $5 US. Super chats. How come it looks flat out my window? I don't know, Mitch. Let's ask you, because I've just realised that I was not even looking at my Discord, and we have a couple of visitors. We have Mr. Mitch Goldstein. Let's bring him in and switch on the desktop audio. Good evening to you, Mitch.
Hey, Mr. Sensible. Hello, everybody out there in Sensible Land.
Hello, good evening, Mitch. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's much appreciated, my friend. And I'm going to bring in the other person who was in there with you. We have Discord, and we have a couple of visitors. We have Mr. Snark, you got caught there. Hello, Snark.
Okay.
Hello, good evening, Mitch. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Okay.
You got it muted now, Snark. Now, I thought we'd catch people talking to people, and since you were in there by yourself, we thought, well, we can't catch you talking to people because there's no one in there. So what do? We catch me talking to you.
Right.
Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening.
So, guys, how has it been for you this past few days, couple of weeks, whatever it is?
Well, doing outside mainly, working, and having some fun in the evening.
So, having some fun, did you say?
Yes.
Good stuff.
Creating videos and whatnot.
Ooh. And videos for what?
Oh, believe it or not, but I'm actually working on one which has Raichi as subject.
Richie? As in
Raichi.
from Boston.
Raichi 00000.
Oh, Raichi. I thought you said
Yeah.
Richie.
No.
Actually, it sounds very much the same. Raichi. Yeah, have to be careful there. I'll just say take this opportunity to say good night, Pip. Thanks for popping in. And how about you, Mitch? And Julie, how is she? All right?
Julie's out. We've had a minor saga. It turns out one of our tomcats is a diabetic, just like myself.
Oh,
And
no.
we have to give Mitch insulin, and we have to give Hobbs insulin as well.
Oh, my goodness. Do you know, I've never heard of a diabetic cat.
Right? But you now think about it, it actually makes sense is that cats today, we don't feed them raw flesh, which would be what they would typically eat in
Flesh.
the cat world.
Yeah.
So we give them things that have lots of protein in them, but they also have lots of carbs. And cats are not really good at digesting carbs. It's not part of their diet. And yes, especially tomcats, very much like old fat men like myself. I actually just got back from the cardiologist, so my health issues are pretty much under control.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Mitch. I hope that everything's okay, and I wish you well with whatever it is. And I'm not asking you to disclose
Oh
anything,
no,
obviously.
I'm gonna divulge it because I figure why not? I have a captive audience. But
Your choice. Go ahead, sir.
I have a neurological condition called dystonia.
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 Okay.
And it is a neurological disease that is genetic, and it's not terrible. It manifests in a few different ways, and it looks like the one that I have is the least worrisome. It's the sort that likely won't get any worse.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear
so
that.
unlike Parkinson's disease, which I'm sure you've heard of,
Oh, yes.
which is it's a degenerative
one, yeah.
disease. This is a non-degenerative neurological condition, so it'll be bothersome. But as you know, I'm a watchmaker, and I've had no issues affecting my ability to do that. I'm also a guitarist. It hasn't affected my ability to do that, so my hands seem to work okay, and that's really, so mostly okay. It could have been a lot worse. So it's been a very tense month, and I was in hospital a month ago with chest pains, and it turns out, lo and behold, that the pains that I was feeling was not my heart. My heart is perfectly healthy.
Good.
And it was that dystonia sometimes causes neurological pain like that. So I have to be very, very careful whether pain is real or imaginary, as it were.
Right.
It's being, caused by, having a nail driven through you as opposed to just a nervous system misfiring.
Right.
So
and I'd never heard of it, Mitch, and I've just looked it up. And for those who, like me, had never heard of it, according to WebMD, it says dystonia is a movement disorder in which a person's muscles contract uncontrollably. The contraction causes the affected body part to twist involuntarily, resulting in repetitive movements or abnormal postures. Dystonia can affect one muscle, a muscle group, or the entire body. So I have learnt 2 things new tonight. Thanks, Mitch.
That's what I'm here for, Mr. Sensible.
Aren't we all? I think we are, aren't we?
Yeah.
Apart maybe from Gary Wybenga, although he's learnt to post without copy pastoring at least once or twice.
Well, I'm not quite sure yet. Right, Tusk already deleted his last message, and we're right he is.
Oh dear.
So the only other thing that's going on is, that for we sensibilists of the Jewish persuasion, it has been our high holidays. And we put up in our backyard a sukkah, is what it's called. It's a booth that we kind of eat and pray in for a week, right after Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
Right.
I was just going to ask you,
Sukkot.
Mitch, what is the holiday?
Sukkot, it is called.
I've not heard. I've heard of Yom Kippur. I can't
Yeah.
say Yom Kippur, but I've not heard of that one.
Yeah, Sukkot. It's not very well known because it's not widely practiced. but we actually bought a new booth for our new house, and we put it up today, and it's lovely. And I'll post it someplace where you can have a look at it and
Yeah.
see what it is. But it's actually kind of quaint. It's really the intention is to kind of put things in your life into perspective of all the wonderful things that you have, that you could be wandering about the wilderness in a hut.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah. And does it also cover things like? I mean, you said you've discovered you've got this condition now, realizing, well, okay, I've got this, but it could have been much worse.
Well, for example, I went to the cardiologist as well because of the chest pain, and he said to me, I went through the whole, dude, man, it was that stress test, the chemical stress test is really strange. They give you an intravenous injection of this thing that artificially makes your heart race
Oh.
instead of doing it on a treadmill. And they actually watch your EKG, your electrocardiogram, to see if there are any changes. And we did that. We also did the actual treadmill one.
So
We also did the CAT scan with the technetium, which was fascinating, where they inject you with the radioactive
yeah,
stuff.
I must admit, I find things like that fascinating. Whenever I've been in hospital and there's any sort of interesting test like that, whether it's been on myself or on Mrs. S or one of the kids, I spend as much time looking at, oh wow, that's amazing technology, as thinking about what it's meaning.
Now, what's amazing about technetium is you may remember from way back when we first met that my first career was in chemistry. And technetium is one of the chemical elements that does not exist in nature. It is an artificial element. All of the isotopes of technetium are unstable. So, and if you want technetium, you need to make it. And it has a very short half-life, so it only exposes you to a tiny amount of radiation, but they can actually use that to trace the blood as it moves through your circulatory system. And the doctor told me, and I quote, "You have the heart and circulatory system of a 45-year-old."
Yeah, but the problem is, Mitch, the 45-year-old wants it back.
Well, and so being that I'm 56, wait, what year is it? 56. That's a very high compliment. And also be mindful that none of my ancestors of my previous generation, only one of them lived into their 70s.
Yeah, that sort of thing makes you think, doesn't it?
So that's like been what's going on with me the last couple of weeks. So that keeps things hopping.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that the news is much better than it might have been, Mitch. I really, really am.
Oh, you and me both.
Yes. And hopefully, perhaps you can say to Julie that I have credit for remembering her name. You didn't have to prompt me.
Okay. I made a check mark. I keep track. I made a check mark for you.
Excellent. I keep trying to get in credit with Mrs. S, but it doesn't seem to work no matter what I do.
That's hard.
Oh, and then the only other news is while all this was going on, we had the whole family tested for COVID, and we all came out negative. This is because my son's girlfriend's mom is going through a tough time, and she's immunocompromised, so we all got tested. And we're all negative, or at least we tested negative. It doesn't mean we are negative.
No, that's right. And of course,
all kinds
of course, you may well have been negative then and walked out and picked it up from someone half an hour later.
Bastard.
Yeah. And what about you, Snark? Any news from your end?
Oh, well, I was just going to add that this thing about cats is indeed true. My youngest brother has got 3 cats, and one of them has got diabetes, so the cat needs injection every day, and he's become quite an expert. That is, my brother is now quite an expert at administering these jabs without the cat running away.
Oh, that's
it's
amazing.
But, yeah,
it
happens.
It's always a nightmare trying to give cats tablets. We found the best way is to give them a little bit of cheese and then give them another bit of cheese with the tablet inside it. And I see we've got Multi Tom Tom in the stream.
So we're fighting things with logic and cheese here, right? We're fighting
absolutely fighting cats with logic and cheese. Yeah, Tom, see you in the chat. We have in the live room with myself, the Snark and Mitch. Please feel free. This is once again a genuine invite. Come onto my Discord. The link is below, and I have ensured that it's up to date because the old link started failing for some reason. Just click on the link. Come into the live waiting room with headphones or earphones or something and a mic, and then you can come on the stream and talk to us. We don't even have to talk about Flat Earth. Let's just get you on to get you over being on here, so perhaps you feel you can trust me a bit. See if you can do that.
Sensible has guaranteed that we won't bite.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, diabetic cats. Actually, my daughter works somewhere, and it's a residential care home, and they have cats. There are a couple of cats for the residents. These two cats both only have 3 legs. They're siblings, and apparently the mother, when they were born, it's a bit yucky really, got confused, ate the placenta, but then chewed off a leg as well, off each one. But anyway, these cats are very nice and quite happy. But I said to her, 2 cats with 3 legs, you can make 1.5 good cats out of them.
Yeah, well, a friend of mine had a cat, and it was injured, and the vet said that one of the legs had to be amputated. Fortunately, they took it to somebody else, and the leg was saved. Took some time, took some effort, but it was like, that was a horrible diagnosis. Unfortunately, it was not true.
They got it wrong.
A lovely cat.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, well, that happens, I suppose.
Vets are so expensive. A place many years ago where I was working, Mrs. S rang me when I was at work. She said, "Quick, you've got to ring me back. It's important." And I was like, "Oh, I know what it is." So I nipped out the office, rang her back, and said, "What sort of animal is it?" "Oh, how do you know? I knew it would be." And she said, "It's a dog. It'd been a stray, very shy dog, very nice but painfully shy dog. Could we rescue it?" And then she rang back later because I said, "Yeah, go on then." And it actually ran off. And then she told me about it. Said, we'll rescue it. We'll look out for it. And she did rescue it. Said it won't cost much. It's only a little dog. And he was run down and scruffy and badly. His coat was in poor condition. All these sort of things. We took it to the vet just to give him a checkup and that. And the vet said, "You've been mistreating your dog. This is terrible," and was about to sort of take further actions about our cruelty to animals. We said, No, this is a stray we've just found." "Oh, okay," and generally checked out the dog, but he had something wrong with either one of his back sort of knee or hip. I'm not sure which it was, and it ended up costing a fortune. And we had to take him to a specialist, the specialist at the vet school in Bristol here in the UK. And what it is, when they're pups, the ball and socket joint, the ends of the socket, if you like, are sort of cartilage rather than bone. And as a pup, he'd had a hard life, and these bits had broken off and were then in the joint grating around. And of course, eventually they turned to bone. So he had this grating around. They had to open up his joints to get these bits out. And it cost over £1,000. And bearing in mind, this is about 20 years ago. I've never let Mrs. S forget it, that this is just a little dog. It won't cost much. But in fact, he was a lovely dog. So that was nice. But... 9 o'clock. My missus works in a care home, and their cat looks like it was an early transporter test subject. Oh man, that's bad. Oh dear. Yeah, Tom, I'm looking. I still can't see you in there. Are you coming in, mate?
He's not going to. He doesn't do Discord.
No, Multi said that he doesn't do Discord. He only wants a Google Meet, something one-on-one.
Oh, Tom,
is that
Tom, please respond in the chat. Is that right? Would you only do Google Meet one-on-one? Because if so, then obviously I can't do that tonight. But if so, I'm happy to do that with you. Okay, Google Meet. Although I tend to use a site called Whereby. It's basically the same sort of thing. So do you fancy that, Tom Tom? And while we're talking to you, Tom Tom, I'm still waiting for that 10 months now for that undebunkable video you promised me. Oh my! I hope that's a typo, Tom Tom. People with a wrench have solutions of grandeur. Yes. Is that yes to me, Tom Tom? You are up for that? That honestly, that's great. I will happily do that.
See, he thinks he doesn't understand. I'm not deluded. I'm a scientist. I study science. I've been studying the Earth my whole life. When you learn science, you learn how science works, because the learning of science means you prove all of the theoretical assertions of science as part of your learning experience. So they don't just sit down and say, oh, gravity equals this. No, you experiment, you do the experiments for yourself, and you prove why the equations work. That's what scientific education is. It's not just learning, the equation for this is blah, 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 and the equation for this is blah, blah, blah. No, when you learn physics, you don't just learn Newton's laws. You understand why there's 3 laws, why Newton thought that they were important, how he arrived at them, how he expressed them in mathematics, how they impacted science. That's what science education is about. That's what flat earthers lack. They don't get it. This can't be propaganda, because everyone who's a scientist proves it all to themselves by virtue of becoming a scientist. That's the part they don't get. They think it's just something like, you learn, like, I want to be a surveyor. So I learn how to use, surveying equipment, and I show that I can use the equipment, and I get my surveying license, and off I go. It's not like that. Okay, when you're a scientist, you don't just use the surveying equipment. You have to prove to your own satisfaction why the equations work. So, for example, one of the things we proved early on is why the x squared, why this 8 mile per mile,
8 inches per mile squared,
whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean, why that doesn't work. We prove why it doesn't work, and you don't need anything bigger than a football field to do it.
Well, at this point, I'm just going to interject for a second. A big shout out to Mohammed Shafiq. Good evening to you. And Multi Tom Tom, thank you for saying yes, you would meet me on Zoom or Meet or whatever, one-on-one. Let's arrange it. Here is my email address. What I promise you, and you can grab this video if you want, I promise you that if you email me, our email conversation and your email address is 100% guaranteed confidential, and at the end of our discussions I will delete it so I don't any longer have the email address, and of course you could use a disposable one anyway. So please email me at that address, and then we can have a nice just friendly chat just to organise how we'd go about doing that, okay? So I've said to everyone here in the world, you can capture this video, that I will not divulge anything that we say in that email conversation, okay? And I certainly wouldn't dox you if I knew anything about you, because that is the lowest of the low, and I would never, ever do anything like that. Okay, you're on shifts. Tom, I work shifts too, so I appreciate that. Let's discuss it on email, and then we can sort out some time, because I've got a couple of weeks coming up, so maybe we can fit something in that period. So that'd be great if you email me. All right, so thank you. I look forward to receiving that. That would be good, wouldn't it, guys?
I'm happy for it.
Yeah, if it's happening.
If it's happening.
But I would look forward to it. I would be love to address something that Multi Tom Tom did bring up in the chat, and that there is such a thing as pseudoscience, and he's absolutely right. And the way that you differentiate pseudoscience is by doing science. Science is repeatable. Science is deterministic. Pseudoscience is not. That's why I, as a scientist, would never say, listen, I'll only debate flat earthers on platform X or platform Y. I'll debate a flat earther anytime, any place, day or night, any time zone, any place you want. I have no compunction about debating anybody over anything because I know my assertions are correct. So pseudoscience would be like astrology. Astrology is not scientific. It was not derived from scientific method. It was derived by mythology. It was derived by navigation techniques used 2,500 to 3,500 years ago. And it became the pseudoscience of astrology. And as you might remember, Mr. Sensible, I have twin boys, identical twin boys, who were born 2 minutes apart, and they could not be more different.
Yeah, it's like the old thing where an astrology thing in the newspaper sort of says you're going to get out and about and meet lots of new people, and of course, roughly 1/12 of the population fall into that, and quite a number of those will be in prison.
Right, exactly.
Now I know that a true astrologer would say, but that's just the newspaper things, and it's not a proper reading. But it's all guff anyway, because it's all to do with where the sun falls across which star sign of the zodiac the sun and the planets happen to fall in. Well, that's just how they happen to line up with stars and things.
It's a coincidence.
Light years, absolutely. And what's more, of course, Mitch, what's more is over the years, due to precession and whatnot, it's changed.
Right.
So it's dramatically so.
Constellations are constantly changing, just very slowly.
Yep. Well, of course, many flat earthers will say the stars don't move, and that's I've shown a picture of Barnard's star many times, or the stacked image of Barnard's star over a few years.
There's about 35 stars that are closer than Proxima Centauri, which is the brightest, really the brightest, closest star that we can see. And you can see time lapse over several years that they do move. They're moving in different directions, and they're all moving away. Everything in the universe is moving away from everything else. That's an astonishing thing to discover. But so we can prove astrology doesn't work. For example, a lot of people say, Saturn this and Jupiter that. Saturn is 2 billion miles away. What possible impact could it have on your life?
Well, it's further away than the dome. Oh, great.
Well, the only impact it could have, Mitch, is its gravitational pull on you, which there will be. Unfortunately, my gravitational pull on you would be greater than that of Saturn, wouldn't it?
It's about 10 to the minus 16 newtons. No, 10 to the minus. It's about a piconewton or I can't remember which one it is. I'll do but it's really, really far away. And then the other interesting thing is if you're a Star Trek fan and they go out all over the galaxy and they go to a place like Gamma Hydra 3, right? Gamma Hydra 3. We're going to Gamma Hydra 3. So what does that mean? There's a constellation called Hydra. The third brightest star is the third letter of the alphabet, and Gamma Hydra 3 would be the third planet around that star, right? Perfect sense. Problem is that when you move to different places in the galaxy, the constellations go away. So there's no place called Hydra, just like there's no place called Virgo.
But I suppose if you had a star named that, Hydra 3 of the And Mitch, much as I love Star Trek, I have to break it to it's not real. Okay, mate.
Oh no!
I saw that Had says he changed his star sign by deed poll to Orion. Well, my star sign is Pyrex because I was a test tube baby.
I don't know what's my constellation. Some sort of aardvark, I guess.
Oh, talking about things like that. I kept an eye out on this channel that does live streams from time to time and does all sorts of readings for people. Unfortunately, he only seemed to go live when it was about 2:00 in the morning for me. But about a week ago, I found a channel doing free readings, and I thought, do you know what? This is a great idea for a show. So I set my OBS screen capturing. I went onto the channel and I was very polite. I said, hello, it's my first time here. And they were polite to me. I said, I've never had a reading before, which is true. And I was there as Mr. Sensible. And I said, can I have a reading? And the guy said, yes. But if you have 3 no's, then you're out and you're muted and booted. So I don't quite get what you mean. And what he's meaning is if he says, I've got this message for you, and I say, no, that's not me, 3 times, I'll be out. Well, the first time he said, you've got some connection with a person with brown hair or something like that. I said, no. And then he said, oh, right, he's short. I said, yeah, definitely not. And then he said something else similar to that, as equally vague. And I said, no. And then he muted me. I didn't even get 3. And then, having said this, you've got some connection with the brown hair. He then said, has anyone else got a connection with someone with brown hair? And someone said, oh, yeah, that's me. How vague is that? What a waste of time that was. So I just threw the recording away because it wasn't worth even trying to laugh at. Tom, you've just said planets are not planets. They are simply wandering stars. Wandering... planet means wandering star because it looks like a star and it wanders. It doesn't mean it is a star, and it actually doesn't wander. It follows a fixed path, but to the ancients it would appear to wander, as it's not in the same constellation and so on night after night, and you can over a few nights you can see how they move.
Yep. And it's predictable. We can predict it as far into the future as we want. And we can look at it as far into the past as we want. We know that planets have a retrograde motion, which stars do not.
Which means that we can't be the centre of the solar system. Can I just also point out, Gary Wybenga has said, Mr. Sensible, I have a cat that is 9 years old and has been paralysed at its rear end since birth. It's healthy, it climbs things, runs on its front 2 feet and tries to hump birds. Gary, that's wonderful. Gary Wybenga is fast becoming a Sensible fan, and I'm glad to hear it.
Yay!
Yeah, good on you, Gary.
Well, not fast enough.
Oh, come on,
in a chat. No, in a chat with Rachie, and Rachie said, well, I can never say hi to you because you always get timed out on Fight the Flat Earth. So I said there, then try to say hello to Rachie. So I asked him now, say hello to Rachie. He won't do it. He's a dickhead.
What, is there an issue between Gary and Rachie then?
No, not at all. Rachie would simply like to say to a fellow flat earther, hi, and then ask a hi back or expect a hi back. He doesn't care.
Oh. Well,
it's below standard.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to say little steps. Gary has changed from doing nothing but copy pasta to at least posting some messages. I think that's progress. I think that's progress.
I agree.
So next stream, Gary, I expect you to become a member. Give me loads of super chats. Well, that's what we'll work towards that.
Yeah, I'll send the Patreon just in case he has a.
And after that, we'll have flying pigs.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Oh, we'll work for that, right?
Yeah, we're working towards it. Perhaps via banking. That's for people who are fans of Monty Python. Yeah, Gary, you could work towards lion taming via banking and becoming a Mr. Sensible member, and then on to lion taming. And you can tame them at night if you've got a light up hat, because at night they're less droppy. This is weird, isn't it? Because if someone hasn't seen that, they're not going to know what the hell we're talking about. But everyone's seen Monty Python, haven't they? Is there anyone in this room who hasn't seen Monty Python?
Yeah. Right.
Oh dear.
No, it's just a flesh wound.
Sorry?
No, it's just a flesh wound.
Yeah, nothing but a flesh. Go on. We'll call it a draw then. Oh dear. So, multi-tom-tom, terra firma means solid ground.
Yeah, it actually doesn't mean solid, it means dry. The implication is dry land as opposed to the water, terra
But
firma.
but either way, Tom, whether it means dry or solid, that does nothing to further the case of the flat Earth, does it?
Multi is now filling the boots of Gary.
Well, he's not cut and pasting there.
Oh, I like that. That's Gary. Cut and paste this. Hello, Reggie.
Mohammed, I'm glad you like Lisa Robin Garrett. And yeah, I really enjoyed doing that video, I tell you. Multi Tom has blocked Rachie the Pretender. On your channel, Tom, does Rachie go there? Actually, Tom, have you done any videos lately? Is there any videos on your channel I need to smash?
If there's one who is not a pretender, it's Reggie. It's unbelievable. Multi, you're an absolute fool.
Dr. Osiris, good evening to you. How much have you missed? All of it so far?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think you've missed all of it so far. But maybe you'll catch the rest of it.
Hey, can you help me out, Mr. Sensible?
If
I
I
don't mean
can.
to shift gears, yeah, but I guess we were tangentially talking about Monty Python. We're looking for a new show to watch in a new classic BBC show that we may not have had in America.
Okay. What
We're
about
kind of run through all the standard ones.
Only Fools and Horses?
Oh, okay, hang on. Post it. Only Fools and Horses.
There's about 7 or 8 series. It's what we would call a couple of likely lads. It's Del and Rodney, who are brothers, and they're doing sort of wheeling and dealing and dodgy scams to try and earn themselves a crust. You also might call them sort of diamond geezers. They're
Right.
a bit south of the law, but not too much. Bit cheeky.
All right.
I would thoroughly recommend that. That is absolutely classic British comedy.
I've never heard of the show.
Well, I'm glad you're in for a treat, especially
All right.
especially the episode with the blow up dolls. Although that's probably about 4 series in. That is so funny. It will have you in stitches. Yeah, I look forward to hearing what you think of that, Mitch. I can't remember what the very first couple of episodes were like, but certainly give it a chance. That is absolutely the peak, I think, of British standard TV humour. Brilliant stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to put it above Faulty Towers, huh?
I'd put it alongside. It's another classic like that.
Really? Ooh,
Yeah,
you're going to put it alongside
Yeah,
Fry
it's-
and
it's very-
Laurie
it's
and
very-
Blackadder and
Sorry, alongside who?
Faulty Towers, Blackadder. That's like my
Yeah.
top tier.
Yeah.
Fry and
I mean,
Laurie, yeah.
yeah,
Arnold
definitely.
says Fry and Laurie.
It's very different. It's very nice. Oh yes, Ziploc, the chandelier episode. Yes, but there's an awful,
And for
awful lot. Of them.
Snark, I'm sorry, Miss.
No, I was going to say there's an awful lot of them. It's probably about 10 years worth, maybe, and a few specials as well, sort of feature-length specials. It's really, really good.
We have all of Jeeves and Wooster, which is fabulous. We love Jeeves and Wooster. We also have One Foot in the Grave. Although
Oh
my
right,
wife
yes, which
will not
Nine's
watch-
just said. What?
She will not watch the episode with the turtle.
I can't remember that. What
But-
about Garthden has recommended Porridge? That's another one. That's very, very
Yeah.
good.
I don't know that. Another post-it. Porridge.
Porridge, because that's slang for doing time in prison.
I
and
did
it's
not know that.
Oh, right, yeah. It's a guy called Fletch. He's doing 5 years. I can't remember what his crime is. That is a very good series. Ain't Half Hot Mum. That's another one. And Dad's Army. Okay, so that's Dad's Army,
Yeah.
which was about the Home Guard, which during World War II, it was the the old soldiers and people who couldn't be in the military who volunteered to guard the home front. And that's very, very good.
You were kidding, Mr. Hitler.
That's it. Absolutely excellent. Sorry, what was the other one I said? Ain't Half Hot Mum, which might be a bit harder to get rid of, to get hold of, which was a concert party military concert party, probably in I can't remember which country they're supposed to be in. Were they in India?
Possibly, I think so.
I know they had
They
Indians
had
in it,
the
but
guy with the turban who kept saying "we British."
yes, that's right. The reason it might be a bit harder to get hold of, Mitch, is because they had a couple of Indian guys in it,
Right.
and the lead Indian guy was actually a white guy in blackface. It wasn't sort of over the top blackface. I mean, for years I didn't even realise he wasn't an Indian.
No.
And it's from the 70s, so it's not as PC as you might expect, but it's very, very good, very funny. Some brilliant stuff, and the characters, the
there's
sergeant and
blackface.
major.
There's blackface in Monty Python. Couple
Yes.
episodes.
Yeah, let me see if I can find you a photo, because it's, he's supposed to be an Indian. He's not. He's an Indian who is a bit higher than the other Indians, and he regards himself as British, and he looks down on the other Indians. But he's not. He's not the main character. There's some brilliant characters in there. There's a very effeminate guy who is always taken a mickey out of for being effeminate. There is the Sergeant Major is absolutely cracking. That's an actor called Windsor Davies. It's brilliant. All those series, I think you'll love.
And what's the last one we just discussed? That was Porridge?
Yeah, there's Porridge,
Right. And
Only Fools and Horses,
And one more.
Ain't Half Hot Mum.
Ain't half.
Ain't Hot Mum. Yeah, like you say, what's the weather like there? Well, it ain't half hot, Mum.
Okay.
It's
I have
I
to
didn't
go.
recognize
Julie, say one. Say hello, Julie.
Mr. Sensible,
hello, Julie. How are you?
I'm very well, but my cat just peed in his carrier, so I got to deal with that. Nice talking to you.
Mi-
That cat.
Captain TikTok man.
Sorry, Mitch. I'm just going to drop in general chat a link to the wiki for Ain't Half Hot Mum to give you a bit of an idea. Okay.
Alrighty. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry to take over the show.
No,
but
not at all.
You're my main source for this.
Well, all of those are absolutely wonderful. Actually, one of the characters, a really short guy. I know in American military you have gunners. They're called gunny, aren't they?
Right.
Yeah.
Gunnery sergeant.
Yeah, that's right. So there's one character called Gunner Lofty, Harold Horace Herbert Willie Sugden. But he's a short guy, so he's called Lofty. An actor called Don Estelle, who really, really can sing very, very well. Well, Mrs. Sensible actually met him and said he was the nicest of guys. But it's actually very sad, despite the fact that he had a wonderful singing voice and he was in this TV series as one of the main characters. He ended up selling tape cassettes. This was back a few years. Selling tape cassettes at in markets just to try and raise some money. And I think he died a penniless man. It's a very sad story, but a wonderful guy. Yeah.
Oh, just like the fellow who played Father Ted.
Yes.
Dropped in like right after they shot the third season.
Yeah. Oh, Ziploc, La-di-da, Gunner Graham. Yes. And what was the other guy that Sergeant Major loved? Lovely boy. Lovely boy. Oh, you're going to love it, Mitch. The idea of watching... Oh, Dad's Army. That was the other one I said, didn't I?
Yeah, Mr. Mainwaring or Mr. Mannering.
Mr. Mannering, yes. Oh, man, you're in for a real treat, Mitch. And I'm really looking forward to getting your feedback on those.
Oh, you will. And just for the record, I've seen people recommend Keeping Up Appearances, seen it.
Yes.
I've seen people recommend Black Books, seen it. Have all of the... I actually kind of enjoy, I know it's kind of goofy, but Are You Being Served?
Yes.
I know it's a great... oh, my God. Who's the floor manager? Captain... What's his name?
Oh, Captain Peacock. Yes. He
is just brilliant. I love him.
Yes.
And the Pookie guys, what a great ensemble they were. It kind of got old. It went on a little longer than it ought.
Yes. Yes. Ziplock's just mentioned about Lofty had a hit record, Whispering Grass. He certainly did, alongside
Really?
Windsor Davis, two characters from Ain't Half Hot Man Mitch. They had a top hit single, a silly one. But yeah, he ended up penniless, apparently. And as I said, Mrs. S did meet him because when she was a teenager, she volunteered and worked in the local little theatre, and he was there on occasions. So yeah, sad. Many years dead now. Yeah. Second best Bob said, "Don't watch Ain't Half Hot Mum," with a non-smiling face. Did you not find it funny, Bob, or did you find the non-PC of it? Because it was 70s, it was a different world. I think you have to allow for that. It doesn't mean it would be suitable to make nowadays. I don't know. I just wondered what it was. Oh, The Young One, says Dr. Osiris. Yeah, that's a good series as well. But that's
Got him.
okay. I will not have gossip in this jungle. Absolutely right, Hads. Hello. Have you seen that, Mitch?
Yeah, we talked about it last time we spoke.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I'm so
had
glad that you
the
like
good
the British humour.
Oh my God, American! There's some shows now. For example, I'm a fanatic watcher of MASH,
Yes.
which is now on Hulu, and we're rewatched it. We're in the third season. We're watching 2 episodes a night, just like the old days when it was on in syndication.
Yeah.
And there are some great shows, but you know, when I grew up, I looked forward to Friday nights when they put the BBC shows on public television, because that's what I always identified with. And the earliest example was the Monty Python was over here very, very early in syndication. And then all those other shows that we love all came from public television here in the U.S. But there's so much that was like we've seen like maybe 8% of what's out there in the BBC, right?
But that's quite interesting, Mitch. I never realised that they did put some of our stuff out in the States. And we got a lot of American comedy, some of which I think worked really well, some of which fell absolutely flat because of the differences in humour. But I had no idea it went the other way, because whenever I've heard of it going the other way, the Americans have remade it.
Yeah, and by remade you mean stole, but yes.
No. Well, I mean, like The Office, for instance. That's an amazing series here, but they took it over to the States and they tried to change it. I didn't even watch the American version, I'll be honest, but I heard that originally they changed it so vastly, and the whole point of basically the American production company totally missed the point of what it was and wanted to make it like an American sitcom.
Ricky Gervais being hilarious. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, Gary Wybenga said he'll send me the money tomorrow, but of course I know that tomorrow never comes.
and like a good flirter, he ends it with lol.
Lol. Oh, I must admit though, I've got a habit of doing that. I'm too much used to text. Oh, Theo Fungi is surely not old enough to know Tiswas, Crackerjack, and OTT. Way too young to have a clue what I'm talking about. But Theo, do you remember what Tiswas stood for? And it was TIS, not TIZ. Do you remember what Tiswas stood for?
I can't wait to hear.
It was out on.
Hello, my prince. Done dragging urine all over my basement?
Are you talking to me, Julie?
Julie doesn't realize that I'm on the air. Apparently, the cat had a good pee in the cat crate on the way back from the veterinarian, and so we have to share it with the world. Everyone, be with us.
Theo Fungo doesn't remember what Tiswas stood for. It's today is Saturday. Watch and see.
What's it mean?
It doesn't mean anything. It was a kid's Saturday morning show. It was just silly things, games, stuff like that. Today is Saturday. Watch and see.
Now, what we've never seen, we did have, which of course as a kid I adored, was Captain Scarlet and Thunderbirds.
Yes.
So we got that.
And
But
Joe
oddly
90.
enough, right, we didn't get that. And I think it's really interesting that so many of the characters in Jerry Anderson's work are Americans. Like Captain Scarlet isn't, because he sounds like, he's British, but everyone in the Thunderbirds, they're all done with American accents. I thought that was really kind of interesting. It didn't occur to me till much later in life that it was a British show. So that was my first exposure.
I've just been corrected by Colin Barley, and Colin, you're quite right. Tis was today's Saturday. Watch and smile, not watch and see. You're quite right. My deepest apologies. Yes, you're quite right.
Sincerest apologies.
All right. Just leave these spots.
Is everything better?
Just leave these spots.
All right, well, we're taking care of it.
David Nichol was a swap shop boy. I was on swap shop once, David. I swapped a really crappy album for a skateboard, so I was happy. I didn't actually get on the show, but what's his name? Keith Chegwin, wasn't it? He was there at the local park, and I went along and joined in and did a swap. And Thea Fungi wanted to marry Aquamarina. Well, the one advantage with Aquamarina is she never said anything, Thea. Yeah, I loved Captain Scarlet and that, Mitch. Thunderbirds is brilliant. Absolutely.
It really is, and I actually have a game. There's a board game, a Thunderbirds cooperative board game, where everybody can play a different character. Oh my God, it's so much fun! I'll have to hook you up with that.
That sounds
but
fun.
Then it's really funny is I saw much later in life, a couple of years ago, after I guess when Jerry Anderson passed away, they showed all the series, and some of them were just absolutely horrifying. The one that I remember as being particularly horrifying was Supercar.
Oh, no, I've heard of it but never seen it.
Well, one of the characters is Mitch the monkey.
Oh. And
it's a little marionette monkey. It's just absolutely awful. Although I have to say the theme is catchy, the show itself is unwatchably bad.
Oh, Brother Grief has mentioned another one, Stingray. I remember that.
Stingray was good. Stingray was good.
It was great TV, wasn't it? Great TV for kids.
Yeah. So what do we have? We have crap here in America. It's all garbage. It's all like like British were brilliant because they would think of a great show and then they would sell products. In America, it's the other way around. We think of a product and then we write a show around the product. It's the most absolutely mindless garbage. Like there's entire, series of shows that were just purposed for selling toys. They would never have allowed that.
No. Mitch, Adam L's asking, that Thunderbirds game, was it some sort of role-playing game?
No, it's a board. It's a cooperative game. Let me get a link for you, and I'll stick it in the channel.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and Theo's mentioned Steve Austin, $6 Million Man. Oh, I loved that.
Yeah.
The Bionic Man.
Yeah. I was a bigger fan of the Bionic Woman, but teaches us.
I also loved Space 1999 with the Eagles.
Oh, and what was that? Oh, what was that really adorable with the funny eyebrows? What was her name? In Space 1999, Kira.
I don't remember.
Nope.
I just remember I was in love with those spaceships. And a friend of mine at the time had a toy eagle, and I so wanted one.
All right, I put it in. I put the link in.
I see.
Cool.
There's Zamek in the live waiting room, muted.
Ah, right. Okay. Let's bring him in. That's a new name. Thank you, Snark. Hello, Zamek.
You're muted.
Hello.
That's better.
Hello, Zamek. You're live. Zamek. We know you're there because you unmuted. Everything okay, I hope? Maybe your mic's not working. I see that game, Mitch. Let's drop a link. I don't know if you did into the stream. So if anyone wants to,
I just put it in chat. Yeah, I'll throw it
Okay.
in the stream. I'm sorry.
oh,
Okay, yes.
hello, Zamek. Brother Grief said Blake 7 is still a favourite. Absolutely adored Blake 7. I collected them all on video. The early ones in particular were really, really cheaply done. I remember one episode, they're running down one of these corridors on a spaceship and they stop and you can see all the bubbles in the wallpaper that they've stuck on the side. But Blake 7, I have a lot to owe Blake 7. You remember the character Avon, the computer whiz? It was nothing like computers nowadays, but there's one episode he's working on Aurak, that computer, and he's actually got these tools to work on it, and it's like a mini pizza cutter on a long handle, and he's doing whatever on a computer. But you know what? I wanted to be Avon. That got me interested in computers, and that ended up with me when I was at school a bit older, pushing my way into being able to use the computers, which were only for the sixth form, even though I was in the third form. And from there, I went to did a college course, and I had a thick end of 20 years career in computing because of Blake 7. Absolutely loved that show.
Right on. Right on. You know what got me into computing?
What's that?
The Andromeda Strain. Not the movie, not the cheesy movie, but the novel.
Right.
It was actually what got me interested in computers.
I've seen the movie, but not the other.
Oh, the novel's it's a really, really good, terrifyingly good book. And it's a little dated, but if you ever get a chance to read that, I definitely would. It's really quite an interesting and intense book. And I actually have to dash. I'm doing a webinar tonight for my work stuff, and I have 871 people signed up for this webinar.
Nice.
Last week's webinar, 77 people. So I'm going to go find a little dinner and get myself emotionally prepared to speak to hundreds of people.
Nice one, Mitch. Well, we wish you the very, very best with that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sensible. Remember, everyone, smash that like button. Wouldn't kill you to click the subscribe button. I think you could probably manage pretty well if you made a little contribution to Mr. Sensible.
Oh, Mitch, listen, thank you very much.
Oh, and Mitch, before you go, thanks for that link. I might well buy that game and play it with my son once I'm back in the Netherlands. He'll drum up a few friends. I wouldn't be surprised if he had it already, but I'll ask him. And if not, I'll buy it.
You can actually play the game solo. There's a solo mode.
Oh.
No kidding.
Really? All right, everybody.
You take care, Mitch. All the best to Julie.
Bye-bye.
And good luck.
All right.
Yeah, Zamek, hello. Are you in here yet? Maybe he's got issues, Snark.
That might well be.
Dr. Osiris, smash the like button. And we're up at 70 likes that I can see. Nice one. Did anyone figure out who Hong Kong Fooey was? Hong Kong Fooey was a #1 super guy, wasn't he? Quicker than the human eye. Other than that, I don't know. Why was a dog doing martial arts? Who knows?
Dr. Osiris. I smashed the thumbs up button, but it broke my screen. Yeah. Well, you shouldn't take everything we say literally. That's a smashing thing. Be careful.
Brother Grief, the Lensman series by E. Doc Smith. I have them. And yes, you're right, they're a bit dated and they're probably for teenagers. But I love that old stuff. I've got sci-fi books right from when I was a kid. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Oh, it's up to 75 likes now. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Henry the Janitor. Yes. Or yes. That was Hong Kong.
If you're on the phone, leave the live chat. Then you can like, and then you come back to the live chat. Honestly, not everybody knows that.
I didn't know that. Hey, Ziploc. 20 years in computing, you still mute yourselves on live stream. It's not as easy as you might think, you know. I have in front of me. I've got a browser with 3 tabs on, which isn't high IQ, but one showing my live stream and chat, another showing the super chats so that I can check them, another showing the actual stream. I also have my OBS broadcast software, and I also have Discord running, where I've got the chatters. And the problem is I can't fit them all on the screen at once, so I'm having to shuffle them around at times. And on Discord, things like the sound for whether you're muting or not, they're grey on black, and when you click them, they've got a tiny little line through them. It's not easy to see. So I'll tell you what, you come on, you produce it, and let's see if you make any mistakes.
Well, even here in France, I mean, I've got my laptop, but I also have a second screen because I really hate that you're looking at one screen and you have to shuffle all those windows around.
Yes.
And with the let's say limited things that I do, but still, it's like a chat window here and Discord there, and then here's my.
It's when you have to start shuffling them around to get them. It's easy to lose track. Blue Feather says like the Rama books. And Larry Niven's Ringworld. I've got Ringworld. I've read it, and I mean, it's a brilliant idea for the actual Ringworld. But the story I felt, I mean, it's a classic, and I have got it, and I have read it several times. But it's not really my favourite. The Rama books, the first one was good, but the typical Arthur C. Clarke, he tries to go in and describe the technical aspects of it too great, to explain basic principles, like the Coriolis when they're dropping the items down the stairs, or if that was in one of the later books, I'm not sure. But the second and third books, what was it? Garden of Rama, Rama Revealed, and Rama Returns. I've forgotten the exact names. Absolutely adored them. Absolutely brilliant. I can't remember the name of the lead character, but I thought it was a brilliant story. Yeah, love it. Have you ever read Rama? Snuck?
I haven't. No.
You haven't? Oh, I thoroughly recommend it. Definitely.
Can I have a look?
Oh, Monkey. Tripitaka. That was good, wasn't it? I never worked out what that was about. That was really odd TV series with Pigsy, Tripitaka, Monkey, and I think there was another one, wasn't there? I think there was 4 characters in it. I don't know if it's based on some either Japanese or Chinese mythological thing. I really don't know. Really strange stuff. But yeah, I remember when I was a kid sitting down watching that at tea time.
I can't help Dr. Osiris there. Does anyone remember a series where the guy could turn himself into different animals?
No.
Turning into a snake, into a horse? Nope.
No, I don't remember that at all.
Nope. Oh, well, we didn't get everything in the Netherlands.
And the thing is, you can't watch everything even if you get it.
True.
So I used to really like, and that was Happy Days. That was an American series I loved when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Hey, the Fonz.
I did. Hey, I still use that.
Yeah.
Let's say the typical pose.
Oh,
Hey.
no, that was so big when I was
Boy,
in
good.
school. Absolutely massive. Such a popular thing.
Yeah, it was.
And to think that, not being funny, I'm not saying all the kids of today, but the kids of today would have no idea. I can't remember the last time it was ever showed on TV. It was brilliant. Loved it to bits.
Yeah, I didn't always watch it. Limited time, you said it, but whenever I saw it, I enjoyed it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Fonz, yes.
Yes.
Fonzie. Yeah.
But I had to watch all this stuff in black and white. We didn't have a colour TV. Never
Well,
mind.
there's that. You shouldn't have seen our first TV. It was, well, I had to sit quite close to see what was going on.
Ours was terrible. You literally had to turn it on 10 minutes before so it would warm up. And you was having to muck about with a vertical hold or the pictures rolling. And then someone would walk past and you get ghost images. How we actually managed to see anything, I don't know. But I do remember one of my earliest memories, and I'd have been about 6 or 7 years old, was sitting down with my dad and watching the original Star Treks. That's about one of the earliest memories I've got. I can picture it now, you know.
The earliest TV memories that I have is The Kleine Waarheid, The Little Truth. And that was, let's say, an adaptation of a book, a very good book, by the way. And the beauty of that was it also had songs in it. And the songs were really good. They were later released as single albums or let's say, combined albums or whatever. And it was, it was highly enjoyable. And that was on a very small black and white screen. So we sat around and, well, gobbled it all up.
Well, there was a famous thing on British TV where they were showing snooker, and the guy commentating sort of said, I can't remember the exact combination, but he said something like, "For those of you watching in black and white, the blue is behind the pink." Oh dear.
Oh, snooker! I taught in Tanzania, and I was supposed to teach English, but I also did some mathematics, and there were some classes, and they were really behind on trigonometry, and so I showed them, let's say, a unit circle, and of course, if you go, let's say, the other way, it's 180 degrees. So I tried to give them a sort of a hook to remember that, and I asked class, like, so do you watch snooker? A few hands went up. And what does the counter say when somebody throws 180? Does he say 180? No, he says 180. So remember that. That's your 180. And later on, whenever that came back, I simply held a hand behind my ear to hear the class shout 180. See, now you get it.
But you know what, Snack? It's things like that that make a great teacher. They make learning fun.
Yeah, I certainly had fun. It was like, oh, the worst thing I did there, I repeated what my math teacher did. Because if you got a fraction, let's say you got one fraction and you want to divide it by another fraction, you have to multiply it with with the same thing on its head. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And my teacher, when I was little, I must have been 14, 15 something, he took two of the students, and one of them he literally turned upside down. And I repeated the experience in Tanzania. They will never forget. So this divided by this person is this same person by this person, and I gave him a 180. Like, okay, you're now upside down. This is how you do this sum. You turn that one upside down, and now you multiply. Go. And they did. By gum, they did.
But you would never forget something like that when you were a kid. I mean, the things I remember in science classes were experiments that went wrong. I remember a Van de Graaff generator. We had some fun and games with that. And it's, my science teacher in my middle school was fabulous. And even a subject, even a subject as dry as economics. I remember we had two tutors would take alternate lessons with us, and one was brilliant. He engaged with the class and was discussing and said, well, why do you think this? But no, because of that. I mean, you'd have a real good lesson. The other one would walk in and say, now then, boys, settle down. And he just had a sheaf of papers, and he would just copy them out onto the blackboard, and we had to copy them down and not talk. And that oh my goodness, this is terrible. And we learned nothing from him, absolutely nothing.
And absolutely, that is, let's say, the Tanzanian school system. How do you learn English? You simply copy what's on the blackboard, because books are a scarce commodity. It is so bad.
Yeah.
But well, that's one of the reasons I was there as a volunteer, and I think I did a few good things. Yep.
Heat Shield asked if I'd ever made a Heathkit TV or other project. No, I you wondered how much solder I got in my bloodstream. I never did any electronics when I was a kid. I do find it's weird. I find doing stuff on the house. I've probably rewired most of the house. I find that straightforward and I can understand it. But when I built my Land Rover, my biggest fear was the auto electrics, even though it's a very early 1970s vehicle, so that the entire wiring loom is drawn out on a single page in the sort of Haynes manual. That that I really struggled with. But what doesn't help is the fact I'm colourblind to red and green, and lots of these wires are things like, red with a black tracer or whatever it is, and I couldn't tell the difference. So I kept having to, at the time, my daughter, who's about 12, 13 years old, I'd say, look, I've got these wires, which one's which? And she'd have to write down the colours, and I'd label them up because otherwise I wouldn't know. So I found that hard. So I'd done a little bit of soldering, but only on auto electronics.
I did some soldering. I actually soldered a cable for a printer, which was at that time a lot of little cables, a lot of connections, and it worked. Yeah. Did you see what basic trigonometry said? We formed a human chain with a Van de Graaff generator to give us more range to shock people on an open evening. Sure. Sarcastic barman is here. Oh, there's one little thing. One of the things he said that you will never forget. There was the science teacher, and he was teaching us about waves and let's say how these all work. So he had a rope. And that rope was on, let's say, on an eccentric, a little wheel, so he could give it its spin, and it would oscillate nicely. And it went on for 15 minutes, and all of a sudden, one of the students said, literally, knap say het touwtje, bang goes the rope, and exactly that moment, the rope broke. It was unbelievable.
I did hear a story of something that is supposed to have been true in some biology lecture. And I don't know if I should repeat it. This tutor was saying, they were talking about biology, and this tutor was talking about the sugars that are in sperm. And this girl at the back put up her hand and said, well, why doesn't it taste sweet? The class went quiet, and he said, probably because it hits the back of your throat. She went red and walked out and never came back again. I don't know if it's true, but it's a wonderful story. Oh dear. Anyway, guys, on that sweet note, I think I shall wrap it up for tonight. This has been an unannounced, unplanned live stream. I've had the Snark in here, or still in here. We had Mitch, and we had Zamek, who joined in and said absolutely nothing. Hello, Zamek?
No. Oh, well, next time.
Maybe next time, yes. It almost came in there. Big thanks to Mitch and Julie in the background for when they were with us, and to the Snark, to you too, sir. Appreciate your time here.
Most welcome.
Oh, guess who's just come in? Hold on, come here. Come on. That's perfect timing. Oh, come here.
Yes. Fighting stupidity with logic and cheese and Arnold.
I thought we might get a purr out of him. Maybe not. Maybe not loud. Maybe not Mike. Anyway, listen. Thank you everyone for joining me, for members, for subscribers, for patrons. I haven't actually shown a patron reel, have I? Let me quickly show that.
No, you haven't.
No, I need to do that. Let me show the patron reel. And here we... I had to do some muting. Here we go. With massive thanks and appreciation to all my patrons, including new patrons Sharpworks, ex-Penguin95, Stephen York, Uwe Closer, Wee Scott's Dog, Marconius, Jason Utting, Kevin Seidel and Doc Brew, and my latest patron, Marius. Thank you all so very much. And I remembered to unmute myself. Professional, eh, Snuck? And I unmuted you as well, so how about that? Not bad. Yeah, one conspiracy cat says, Smulbustkabur. Thank you for that. And I saw Barman's in here. Hello, Barman. You joined a little late, but you're welcome. Multi Tom's getting messages hidden. Tom, please send me that email, mr-sensible@hotmail.com. As promised, anything we discuss I regard as confidential will not be passed on to anyone, neither would your email address. And let's organise a chat. It can be a friendly chat on Zoom or Meets or something like that. One-on-one, okay? That would be good. Yeah, so Snark, thank you again for joining me. And I was saying thanks to the members, subscribers and patrons. Thank you to those who super chatted. And thanks to everyone for being here, making it a great night once again. Wasn't it?
Cheers all.
Any final words, Snark, before we go?
Well, stay safe, I would say. We need, let's say, to get through the next period, and I wonder if. No, well, I don't know. I don't have any advice.
Okay. Oh, Barman, yes, drop your link now before the stream ends. I'm not sure what that is. What was this, a premiere or something, Barman? Oh, you had a premiere, yeah. So drop a link to your prem by all means. Mo, good night, my friend.
Trying final words.
Oh, hello, Zamek.
Hello. Yay! It worked.
It's the great prophet Zarquan. How are you?
I'm fine.
Some problems
Nice
getting in?
Yeah, I tweaked like new voice settings and finally found the one that works.
Oh, good. Well, I'm sorry it's right at the end, but you're
Yeah.
very, very welcome.
Yeah, I'll be waiting for our next live stream.
Yeah, please do.
Hope you remember, I have some science flat Earth topics that from previous live streams that I want to maybe address in the future.
Okay, cool. And maybe you'll have to change your name to the great prophet Zarquan, only just here at the end of the universe. or have you not watched Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Oh, I've seen it, the 2005 movie, right? Because there were more.
Well, there was
versions.
there was an entire radio series and TV series.
Yeah, I know there were other versions, but that's the only one I know.
Okay.
But it was 15 years ago, so.
Yeah, I don't know if Great Prophet Zarquan came into the movie. I can't remember. Anyway, listen, yes, you're very welcome, and hopefully you'll catch the next live stream. I may well be doing one on Saturday, which is, well, either Saturday or within a few days of that, because I'm going to do that 1 minute debunk show live. But that I mean, I'm not quite sure of the format of that. So if anyone wants to do a 1 minute debunk, you've got a couple days to get an entry in. As I said, a 1 minute debunk of either Flat Earth or any other conspiracy, as long as it's not politics. And it can be filmed on a phone. It can be, well, anything. It can be showing sheets of paper with comments. It can be funny, whatever you want, just for a laugh. No previous experience required, no YouTube channel required, as long as you can produce a video of some format, 1 minute long, and get it to me. Either mr-sensible@hotmail.com, or you can use my Discord link below and DM me, and we'll get hold of it somehow. So thank you for joining us at the last minute, Zamek, anyway, and hopefully we'll see you next time, okay?
Thank you for having me, right.
You're
See you
welcome. You
on
take
the next
care.
live stream.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, everybody, thank you very much. I'm going to keep saying that, aren't I? Let me get set up. And tonight, I'm actually going to use the proper outro. Until next time, stay sensible.